Hey,
What's up?
Hi.
welcome to Next Gen Cast. We're having a special outdoor edition just for you, and we haven't made a podcast in about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one that we did was actually speculating about Death Stranding. I mean, this is back whenever 2 years ago. We
Yeah,
were
I think
actually
this was like during the third trailer, right? Like right after the third trailer came
Yeah.
out, and we were
Yeah.
kind of speculating, kind of talking about
Coming up with all kinds of theories.
yeah, and possibly even like some worries that we had about the game, but you know, now all of those worries have turned into our worst nightmares.
Yeah, no, actually, thinking in that actual video, we were talking about like the same exact things that I mean, if you go back, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of predictions that actually ended up coming true that we had back then.
That we didn't want to come true at
Basically,
all.
we just had our our list of things that we hoped that this game did not like try to achieve or go for.
Yeah, if they're not outright happening, we're seeing symptoms of these certain traits.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to go into those things. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about them subliminally anyway. But like, you know, it's just kind of crazy that we were still like highly optimistic about the game, even though we kind of started doubting it at that point.
I mean, I would actually go as far as to say that I was like slightly obsessed with this game, like because me and Sean have been huge fucking Kojima fans.
So Caesar, man.
Caesar, you've been a huge fan too.
Pretty big fan.
But I mean, you can probably tell from the intro of this video that you know how big of fans we were. I mean, we literally buy the merchandise. Like we obsess over the games, like all of Kojima's games, from
we were
Snatcher
like
Police Knots to we own so many different versions of every single Metal Gear game, and even
pretty much every single version.
Yeah. Not even every Metal Gear game,
region,
every Kojima.
Yeah,
game.
we own the NTSC, the PAL. We own like the Japanese versions of every single game.
Yeah, you guys had a whole shelf of Kojima stuff.
The integrals, the fucking substances, the subsistences.
Yeah, we still have all that stuff, minus the the Kojima Productions shirts and the the vinyl record of Low Roar. So
yeah,
well, you did have it.
Anything relating to Death Stranding, we just pretty much got rid of right away. Like after today, I'm just like we need to fucking let this shit go, dude. And might as well just have some fun with it,
Yeah, so we just literally burned the shirts and we smashed the record with a baseball bat. Home run.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
You already saved the music anyway, right?
What's that?
You already saved the music anyway, right?
I mean, we can just go to fucking YouTube and download it if we want to listen to it if we want to. So I mean,
it doesn't even matter. I mean, the vinyl sounded great, but it's like, God, literally that song is just a bad memory for me now.
Yeah,
like it's just a reminder of like about being freaking basically duped into thinking that this game was going to be good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like here we are. It's been a couple of days now since the review embargo was lifted.
Yeah, we're 5 days away from its release.
Yeah. So I mean,
as of recording.
Yeah, so we actually tried to do this recording a couple of days ago, but we had like a ton of technical difficulties.
How many takes did we do?
I think we did three really long takes.
Like at least maybe
40 minutes?
30 minutes?
Yeah, 30 to 40 minutes each, and then we ended up realizing that that
we had either was a version of the software, and then it only recorded for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I think in one case it was like 35 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one version.
That was actually 2 times I did that. But anyway, so yeah, we bought some new equipment so we could do this today, but I'm actually kind of glad because now we have a little bit more like info, and we have a little bit more insight about like what's going on. We've seen more people's takes on it, and man, like, I don't know, I just feel like there are so many people that are still like up Kojima's ass, like, and it's
there's
like
a lot more that
really
are coming out though, because remember like after right before they showed the gameplay, Kojima was posting a picture every day of Norman Reedus like just standing or just sitting, laying
caressing
in the caressing the baby in the middle of nowhere in this barren wasteland. And I just got so fucking sick and tired of it. I was kind of like starting to be the breaking point for me.
Yeah.
Where, because like like I was saying, we kind of obsessed over this game, and after that, after Kojima just started posting like just these pictures, like I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It's like, is this what we're gonna be doing in the game? It's like, if this is actually a feature in the game, then I'm like heavily concerned, about like if this game is even gonna be worth all the hype or not. It's like if this is what he has to show for it, then like, fuck, I'm like heavily concerned about it.
Yeah, and before that, it's just nothing but like just him palling around with the casts, like Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, and all this stuff. And it's like,
ooh,
I mean,
Mads Mikkelsen is so cool. It's like, dude, make a good game. Fuck.
yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean, if he wants to like do that, but like also just kind of maybe post some updates or maybe some concept art. But I don't know, like something.
Yeah, I mean, I like rarely comment on Instagram, but like on Kojima Productions, they have this picture that's like, oh yeah, Death Stranding reviews are in 10 out of 10. He's like, all he did was post the high score versions, and it's like, dude, what do you? I mean, really, dude, IGN gave it a 6.8.
Yeah,
I know.
It's like you type in any game. And then you type in review after that. You do a search. The
Some
first
of these
thing
review
that comes
sites
up,
you haven't even heard of.
What's that?
Some of these review sites you haven't even heard of.
Yeah, but no, the thing is, you go to Google and you just type in a game, and if it has reviews, they literally show up. It's like Metacritic, and then right next to it, it's like the official Google result is IGN.
They have their own standard. IGN is the
basically.
first result. Like if you type in say Death Stranding review, Call of Duty review, God of War review.
Yeah,
the very
IGN
first
is
thing that shows up. Actually, like the first 3 results are like God of War. If it's a game series, like it'll show like all of those games, but the IGN review comes up first.
Yeah,
that's how like relevant they still are. I mean, it's like
dude. I mean, we've had our ups and downs with IGN over the years. Where we've like hated them for a while, like we kind of respected them for a while.
I still don't really give a shit about them, to be honest.
I mean, I think it depends on the review. If you watch the actual review, if it seems cogent enough, it's coherent, and like
yeah, but then there's like people literally like saying, oh man, we need to fucking like this guy needs to get fired and shit. This guy that reviewed it, I'm like, dude, what?
Oh really?
Yeah, and he's like, dude, he's played the game, you haven't. If he thought it was a 6.8, then he should score it accordingly.
The thing is, like, people actually think that like this guy is like his opinion is completely irrelevant just because he doesn't go in there with a positive like attitude towards the game, and he doesn't go in there like a Kojima fanboy. Like people actually think, oh yeah, he needs to be like telling the game as a Kojima fan. I'm just like, no, he doesn't. Like,
dude, it's the snowflake generation bullshit.
You think only Kojima fans are going to be playing this game?
No.
Like people like the PSP. Like, how many fucking people own a PS4?
God, over 100, probably 120 million.
They're showing Death Stranding commercials during the World Series. All these sporting events. Like it's like people literally can go to like a restaurant and see the TV playing, and they're watching Death Stranding. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the reach that it has. If they were only trying to appeal to Kojima fans, then they wouldn't be
just
showing it during the World
Series.
They wouldn't show it during the World Series.
Right.
So it doesn't make any fucking sense. So and I think that everybody that like is not a Kojima fan will probably have the same exact opinion as the guy from IGN that reviewed.
Oh, the thing is, I think it's going to go even further than that. I think a lot of Kojima fanboys are going to play this game and be like, God, man, they're probably secretly going to be like
a lot of shit to get through that game.
I mean, that's basically what every review. Obviously, there's been a lot of videos already talking about the fact that, that this game is boring, dull, tedious, monotonous. It's just
and they tack on a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, and then they just still rated a 10. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. How can you actually, say that this game is straight up boring?
Well, there's this
it takes anywhere from 12 to 20 hours for it to actually get into kind of like some meat.
Yeah, well, there's this sort of sentiment where people are even questioning whether a game should even be inherently fun.
That's whenever you've lost the fucking narrative, man.
So like, okay, so in order to get your message, you have to go through some trials and tribulations that you're supposed to feel, like the frustration of like climbing a mountain or whatever the goal is, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I mean,
ridiculous.
I don't know. There is a sort of like limit to what, a piece of art should be like at least somewhat pleasing, right? Like, shouldn't you
even
have
the most
fun?
pretentious movies and the most like art house movies, still I feel like they try to like engage the the audience and try to keep them invested into it.
We were talking about the Holy Mountain earlier, like Alejandro Jodorowsky, like this is like a very like art house type of director. Like he makes very like psychedelic type of movies, and Kojima is a huge fan of him. And he actually said that like El Topo inspired him to make Metal Gear Solid 1 and like all the bosses and have their stories after that you beat them and stuff. So obviously Kojima, he follows him on Instagram and Twitter and shit. So obviously he's like very inspired by this guy. But I'm thinking like imagine seeing like El Topo or the Holy Mountain and they just have like fucking Monster Energy drinks fucking plastered in there or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not. Right. It's like you can't take it serious as like an art piece. They're
just gonna be like so in your face about the product placement.
And the thing is like people, man, it's pretty fucking crazy because there's actually people out there that think that the in-game ads in this game are they give it a slide. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like if it was fucking EA that was doing this shit and like fucking putting, you know, Monster Energy or Red Bull like taking up like 80% of the screen, if not more, and then showing you like, you know, in-game ads for like a TV show that they, you know, that they're like trying to promote. It's like,
Well, Street Fighter got
they
some shit.
literally are so in your face about it that he opens a can of Monster and just like throws it at the screen.
Right.
I mean, like he
Yeah.
literally pours it on the screen. It's like,
Like-
okay, that's like
Yeah, but
literally in your
apparently
face.
Street Fighter doesn't get a pass, you know, just because they have like ads on their on their clothes and stuff.
yeah, they
matches.
were showing one of their esports events on their, and they had this like weekend.
Yeah, there was a
it was
whole
only like a
fucking-
weekend too, where
Yeah.
you basically like, I guess just you saw in-game ads for their esports, which is
Yeah.
actually relevant. Like it's
Yeah.
that the thing is, people were fucking giving him shit about that.
Right.
But it's like, okay, it's an esports event that's like strictly for Street Fighter and like
Yeah.
fighting games and shit. It's like if anything,
Monster
it's like,
Energy has nothing to do with
yeah,
this shit. I
it's
mean,
like,
if
if
that was
anything,
yeah.
like the Street Fighter one was kind of cool, but like I
At
didn't
least-
really,
at
I
least
didn't
in
really care
comparison.
for it. I mean, like, the thing that I hated about it is that it kind of messed with the aesthetic of the game.
Yeah.
But
Right.
like with Death Stranding, you literally see shit that you don't give a fuck about. Like I don't give a fuck about Monster Energy. Actually, I mean, it pisses me off whenever I see that they have Monster Energy like plastered all over the game and
Right.
shit, you know?
The thing is, I mean, product placement with Kojima isn't really a new idea. It all started with
the Calorie Mate.
Calorie Mate, right?
Yeah.
But like,
The thing is, man, it
over
was
the
not
game,
like just fucking taking up 90% of the fucking
right,
screen.
right.
Now.
Over the years, like with each game, they kind of started getting more and more prevalent, and like literally like in your face. You know, by this point, and it's just like, damn,
Dude,
like,
the thing is, you know, every time you use the restroom, right?
Mhm.
They play an ad for Norman Reedus' TV show, The
Walking Dead?
Ride with Norman Reedus. Did you know that or no?
no.
Yeah,
What
it's
the
like
fuck?
basically like whenever he's taking a shit or a piss, like it'll just show the ad over the screen of the shower.
As he's pissing
Yeah,
into a
and it'll
grenade.
show like a full commercial of the show. And I'm just sitting here like,
man.
man, like that's just like way fucking too much. I'm
Yeah.
just like, dude, like
That's
I don't
pretty
give a
bad.
fucking rat's ass about fucking Norman Reedus. Like, imagine if they just like, I don't know, if like Snake, like if he fucking, you know, went to the restroom and you just saw like a fucking commercial with like Snake in it or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, like Kiefer
Even-
Sutherland, like his new country album or some
24, like
shit.
24 or some
Yeah.
shit. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, dude, I don't give a fucking shit. I just care about the fucking game. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not most gamers are not like celebrity worshippers. You know?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
felt like that's his new audience. Is like this celebrity worshiper kind of fucking.
Well, yeah. Ever
audience,
since
like,
ever since the
people, like-
Silent Hills trailer, I didn't think like, oh hell yeah, it's Norman Reedus, the man himself. Hell yes. I was thinking, oh, that's badass. They actually got like a pretty big actor. This is gonna be like pretty big exposure for his new game.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's
it's
about the
attracted
extent
the wrong
that
audience though.
Yeah, I know.
I literally have come to realize that Norman Reedus' audience is fucking shit. Like literally, like the thing is, like Kojima posts like stuff on Twitter, like where it's like a quote from Solidus, and then like all these fucking
Yeah, I saw it.
normie, like I guess you can call them normies, but like because they're Norman Reedus fans.
oh damn.
But like they just fucking, oh yeah, this sounds cool. I don't know what it means, but it sounds cool. Like, oh, you seem like you're onto something. Or, I don't know, dude. It's like, what the fuck are you even saying? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, quit acting like all you're doing is just putting this guy on a pedestal just because fucking like.
He's buddy with Norman Reedus.
Anybody
Yeah.
who okay, did you say what the post was about or what it said?
Um,
It basically it was a Solidus's quote from the game, and it was supposed to be really profound, like
yeah,
given
that's
the
what I'm
context
talking
of the
about.
game. Yeah,
It was like something about some kind of genetic and mimetic thing,
definitely.
And yeah,
But passing
people
on
just
your-
did not
your
even
memes and stuff
fucking
like that.
understand the fucking quote at all, and they didn't even know it was from Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, it
2,
was a
or
pretty-
if it
pretty-
was from-
pretty
they didn't
sad
know what character,
situation.
But it's just like Kojima has just lost his fan base. But I don't know. The thing is, like, I'm also seeing people like, oh yeah, man, Kojima is like a masterpiece. Oh he's a
Mastermind.
he's a mastermind, and like he's a a true artist because he's putting filmmakers like from around the world who adopt like multiculturalism in the game. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fucking shit about this. Like, why the fuck does this matter? Like, I don't give a shit about some fucking art house fucking directors from around the world, and then if they're like they scan their faces and put them in the game, like it fucking does not mean shit to me. Like,
Yeah.
just make
Yeah,
a
if you-
fucking good game
With a good
Make the
story,
yeah,
if
with
with
they're
good
actually
gameplay.
if they're actually involved in the game, like behind maybe like writing or music or whatever, that'd be one thing. But like, you're just scanning their faces. Like,
Yeah.
understand what
I know.
the
It's
deal
pretty
is.
bad. I know Conan O'Brien's actual voice is in there too, but like,
Yeah,
his
no,
face.
I saw
He's
the
in- he's
scene.
in the game.
scene
it's
with
so
him
fucking
there.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking
Oh, is this
cringy,
you,
dude.
you like my
Conan
mask, or are you
O'Brien's-
just happy to see me or some shit? I don't know. It's like, God, really?
Well, it's another thing that kind of bothered me is because apparently there's going to be huge stretches of the game where like Norman Reedus is just going to be like another like silent character.
Well, yeah,
'Cause,
it's pretty much like up until the third or fourth chapter. Yeah, the fourth chapter is whenever he starts kind of opening up.
That's
That's
God.
probably about like 15 to 20 hours, depending on if you do side missions or
Yeah,
not.
that was like another hint of that because like you
Well, the
see
thing
that.
is, like, if you actually watch the Conan O'Brien scene, like
Right.
it's in the game,
Yeah.
he actually kind of like
Tells a joke.
Yeah, he tells a joke, and then Norman Reedus doesn't laugh, and he's like kind of just
Oh,
makes a comment about how stoic he is. and
Nothing,
stuff.
huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just like,
You're
dude,
one of those
like,
stoic types.
yeah, this is exactly one of the things that we were fucking worried about. It's like, yeah, I mean, let me guess, Kojima's gonna make another character without a personality, you know,
Yeah,
another
I
lead
know,
character,
I know.
just like he did with Snake in MGS
In MGS5. Yeah, I know. Man, you know, another thing is just like the people that are just freaking defending this game. Like, we were watching a podcast today, right? And this guy, it was like 10 fucking people and shit. And this guy, he was talking about like, you know, it's like, the problem is that, you know, just like this game is like, he's purposely trying to like confuse the fuck out of like the audience, like with this, like, I mean, like you need to market the project at least to the extent to where people know what they're getting into.
Right.
That's what he did with the Metal Gear games. I mean, watch Metal Gear Solid 1's trailer, 2, 3. You know, it's like
Especially something as like out there as 2 by the end of the game.
It doesn't even matter about the end of the game. It's like you watch the first trailer for MGS2, you know that you fucking are, you know, you got wind that there's a new fucking Metal Gear
Right.
on this fucking cargo ship, on this tanker, and you get there, it's the freaking ship is taken over by freaking, you know, Russian freaking military, and you have to like, you know...
shows you the gameplay that's, you know, pretty much almost every aspect of what you can do.
Yeah. So you already know the scenario. You already know what's at stake. The whole setup is right there, you know what I'm saying? And then like in MGS3, you know, granted, like on the first trailer, you didn't really know what the story was, but you at least knew what the theme of the game
that
was,
was
like highly. I mean, they showed so many freaking gameplay aspects about the survival and the new hanging from the trees and like shooting enemies, like the new stealth mechanics, the new control mechanics, all that stuff. And then, you know, towards the end, they started showing more about like, you know, what the actual game was about, you know, the boss defecting and, you know, all that stuff. And, and then, you know, and then with this game, it's just like, going back to this podcast that we were watching, you know, it's like dude, it's like with the Metal Gear games, you at least knew what you were getting into, you know, by the time you bought the game,
right?
And now it's just like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's so weird because this game is so fucking far out there, like. With the Metal Gear games, I mean, especially with MGS3, I mean, it literally could have happened in history. It's like, it's literally just a conspiracy Cold War game. You know, behind the scenes, what really happened during the Cold War, you know? And then, you know, like, there's at least some attachment to reality. But, like, what year does Death Stranding take place? What, like, you know, what exactly happened that thrust this whole fucking fantasy? Why does Monster Energy drink still exist? If,
Yeah,
you know
dude,
what I'm saying?
I actually fucking ran into somebody that actually commented, like they were talking about, they were complaining about the Monster Energy drinks, you know, and like why the fuck is like the in-game ads, you know, like why is everybody okay with in-game ads in
Did he
this
get like
game?
responses and
but
stuff?
you know they're okay with in-game ads in this game, but like whenever it comes to, you know, like another game, like any EA game, people just fucking lose their shit.
Yeah.
And then some guy was like, oh, you know, I think the Monster Energy drink kind of adds to the realism.
What?
I'm just like, what
adds
the fuck?
to the realism.
Yeah.
Like I think I literally like he literally fucking said that. I was like, okay, so you're saying that Monster Energy drink and you know, Norman Reedus' TV show are gonna be like in the post-apocalyptic future? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
dude,
dude,
literally fucking.
Is it
fucking
post-apocalyptic?
crazy.
Like, seriously, like this game just expects you to just buy into its universe with no fucking information whatsoever.
Yeah, you're gonna get like clear still ads and shit.
Yeah, not only
Yeah,
that, but
you
like,
know,
here's the thing: it's like it's so far detached from like reality, actually.
Yeah.
But it still is taking place around because you know you got the United States and blah 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 and all the president. You know, it's like still you're supposed to believe that
That's
this is
fucking
actually like, you
ridiculous.
know, some sort of post-apocalyptic future.
Dude, you
But
know
it's
that you know that fucking White House, like, you know, the Oval Office or whatever, is like just a hologram, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so here's the thing: it's like if you're gonna fucking make this basically this fantasy version of, you know, of the world, of the Earth and United States, Like, don't you think you deserve to at least tell us like what caused like this whole freaking like explosion?
I don't think we're gonna know until the end of the game. To be honest.
Fuck that, God! Like,
Yeah,
I at least need to know.
and by the end of the game, they probably won't explain it that well.
I know that's kind of what I've heard. There's not really like there's still like so many questions left unanswered. And
Yeah, I
it's
know.
just
The
like,
thing
dude,
is,
what
these
are the
people-
BTs?
yeah.
Why, like, here's what my
You
my-
find out
my-
what the BTs are by the third sequel. Let's play.
okay. Whenever I first started seeing the trailers for this game, I was like, oh, okay, so like, especially the third trailer, I was like, okay, so are these aliens that somehow like created some sort of big bang or like some sort of cataclysmic event where they were able to open up portals and just kind of like kind of like that movie Annihilation where like they've created this new like version of Earth or whatever where it's just like certain types of like time periods leak into each other and certain dimensions and it's like a very
it's basically
it's like some
like
wormhole or
it's,
some
it's like
light.
DNA. Everything that's like in that that bubble or whatever is like the DNA of every living creature is kind of like morphing with each other.
Yeah.
So that's like why you see like somebody who dies from a bear, and the bear will kind of like absorb some of their DNA and like it's a really interesting fucking idea. Like actually that fucking seems way more interesting than whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like,
the thing is, it's still grounded in reality though. Everything that you see in Annihilation is still grounded in reality.
Yeah,
and it's explained perfectly, but.
Yeah,
What
I mean,
Death
so
Stranding
that's
did
kind of
is-
what Death Stranding was alluding to, was that they were trying to like explain like maybe some scenario where like like physics were just turned upside down and like
Yeah, dude,
it's
the
like
thing
the
is, like,
laws of physics do not exist anymore and
Yeah,
like
well, another fucking ridiculous thing that you see in the game is just like, you see this bionic woman just like fucking giant and shit.
Yeah,
I'm just
it
like, now how the fuck are they going to explain that? Like, literally, like, you know what? Whatever they come up with,
It's not going to be as impressive. Not as impressive as what anybody else would come up with, I can guarantee.
yeah, exactly. I'm like thinking like,
That was a huge thing with with the latest Kojima
yeah,
games.
the thing is like, yet again, you see another floating whale in the game and shit from the latest trailer. It's like, oh yeah, it just reminded me of how they just completely ignored the fucking floating whale in MGS5.
Yeah,
And
they
it's
never
like,
explained
they never
that.
explained it. It's like,
dude,
okay,
I mean,
what the fuck was that?
even whenever we saw those trailers of MGS 5, remember whenever it was just the Phantom Pain, and they had that trailer, it was just like a trailer for the whole hospital sequence, and they have like, I literally thought that like Snake was waking up in the hospital, and he was just like drugged up or whatever, and he like, because remember that guy gives him the shot and shit, and I thought he was just like straight up hallucinating.
Yeah.
But they don't even, like, he wasn't. He was just straight up like just that shit was actually happening.
Yeah, the helicopter
Like,
actually like came down and like swallowed up that whale.
Yeah.
And
it's fucking retarded as shit.
Yeah.
Like, why is Volgan here? Why is Paz here? Or just a figment of fucking.
Yeah, and why is Volgan like
It's
not
not even-
aged?
none of it-
Big
no,
Boss,
I know,
so it's like he
none
has
of
no
it even-
fucking connection
yeah,
to Paz.
none of
Like,
it even
the only
is
thing that he
explained.
even knew Paz
Maybe
for
he had a
is,
crush
like,
on her,
whenever
dude.
they- huh?
Maybe the medic had a crush on her.
Well, he fucking took the bomb out of her. That's the thing. That's the only thing that I'm certain that he fucking any connection that he had with her. But
Yeah.
even so, it's like, why is this guy, the medic, dreaming of Paz, and she, she's treating him like Big Boss and not the medic? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like he's
the
even,
game is retarded. It's just
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. It's nonsensical as fuck. And like, I already know that this game is going to be the same exact fucking thing, basically.
Ryan, could you pause it real quick?
I don't know. It's too late now.
So, what were we talking about?
Talking about oh shit. What were we talking about? We were talking about how like Norman Reedus and product placement, pretty much.
Oh yeah, well no, we were talking
we're-
about like just like how the freaking story of this game is just so far detached from reality.
Oh, and how like there's like a lot of like things that are fantastical but never really explained.
Yeah, that's from what I've heard. There's just like all sorts of things that are like not explained. This was on Review Tech USA's video. I think he was talking about like some of the reviews or something, and like how like a lot of this stuff just like at the end of the game it just still doesn't add up.
Yeah.
And like I'm just dude, the thing is like, what's going on? Like why can't he just like tell us like what is actually like happening? Why would he even create a story to where he couldn't even really market it?
Yeah. Well, I think another element that I predict in this story is there's going to be a lot of like details that are going to be just unnecessary. Like he's going to go into like how like maybe even like how Monster Energy is like a thing.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
I
Like,
already know that's going to be in there.
yeah. It's, the Monster Corporation was like they had no funds to like survive.
That's
or
the
something.
fucking shitty thing about fucking Kojima. Actually,
Yeah.
is that like
You see it in all.
he's not even a
all over his
fucking
games.
good storyteller. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't actually let like his actual ideas just exist on their own. Like, he actually did that for a few, like, I think Metal Gear Solid 3 is actually the main game that he did. Like, he didn't try to overly fucking explain things. I felt like, first of all, he didn't fuck over the audience with the marketing of that game. Like, we literally got what we saw in the trailers. With MGS2, we did not, obviously. But, I think in MGS3, he did a really good job. Like, this is, like, probably the best he's ever done as far as, like, creating a coherent story.
Right.
That's, or at least the most coherent story, that where it doesn't really, it has confidence in its ideas. It's like you don't have to fuck it. He just puts shit out there. Like, like some of the bosses, what's the one that the Sorrow? It's like he doesn't like try to overly explain like how he was able.
Psycho Mantis is another one that like in MGS1 he didn't have to explain that.
Exactly.
Vamp in MGS2.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like these kind of
Until
like
you fucked it up with Vamp in
yeah,
MGS4.
Yeah, I know.
these supernatural characters, and
that's nanomachines.
Dude.
Yeah, that's an example of like how confident he was in his ideas and like just some of the supernatural shit. Like he never explained how the what is it the Fury. Mm-hmm. Or no, was it the Fury? Which one was the one with the bees?
Oh, that was the Pain.
The Pain. Like he never explained his relationship with the bees and like how he had some kind of frequency brain waves or some shit that was able to fucking attract the bees and get them to do whatever he wanted and shit.
Maybe there was. Maybe if you talk to the medic or something, maybe she might explain something.
I don't know. But even so, like it didn't fucking get overly fucking emphasized on.
Right.
Like where. But I feel like with MGS4.
They definitely made it actually part of the like actual story that you're forced to watch.
Yeah.
Whenever they're explaining like Vamp's freaking like reliance on freaking
nanomachines. They basically kind of like instead of like trying to explain everything like scientifically like with Vamp and MGS2, they basically just kind of made like a tragic backstory for him, and like just talked about how he was buried under a church or something like that, and like
he was a vampire.
He fucking had to live off of everybody's blood or something like that.
Yeah.
And like. Which is fucking like a really interesting kind of character,
Sure.
It's like it goes into
definitely,
his backstory.
dude. It's literally the midichlorian kind of like.
Exactly. It's like okay, I'm fine with that. Just say something like that. Give me an interesting fucking backstory, and that's fucking fine. But like, don't make it too fucking. Don't over drag it too much. But like, with the whole thing that they did with like Naomi and Vamp and like MGS4, it's like okay, that literally just shit all over his character.
Definitely. Definitely.
And
the thing is, not everything. Like even in Star Trek, there's going to be all kinds of like, even though it's really kind of like science-based, there's tons of stuff that's like not even accurate, like especially
actual science.
I think the perfect example of that is Star Wars, though. It's like there's tons of shit that happens in Star Wars that is just not explained at all. It's like it just has it in there. It's like what's that?
Up until the prequels,
Yeah. Well, I'm just even the original trilogy, like it's basically just throws a bunch of shit at you and it's like okay, you know what, just fucking enjoy the ride. It's like a good story, it's fun, it's like there's some fucking crazy off the wall shit in there, but like it's not like that fucking crazy. It's like it's confident in its ideas and it's just like expects you to fucking like just accept it and continue with the story, and the story itself is actually what is keeping your attention enough to where okay, you know what, I'll accept that, and it's
the
like
brains come from
especially
like
whenever it's presented well.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You have to have confidence in your ideas. Kojima does not have confidence in his ideas. I think the only game that he did have confidence was obviously MGS, probably 1 and 3, where he didn't have to overly explain things.
Right.
Yeah.
And but like this game, I mean, it's so fucking far removed from reality that like there's literally no fucking way that he's just gonna expect people to fucking accept what the hell is going on in this game just without any explanation. It's like, how the fuck do you have like this giant fucking bionic woman or president of the fucking United States, where she's like literally like fucking 200 feet tall or some shit, and it's like okay, have fun explaining that shit, and it's like I'm checking out, I'm just like I don't even want to fucking hear it, like
dude, the thing is, it goes so far beyond that, though.
I know.
It's like like the whole universe itself.
The
whole fucking thing.
But then what's
happening needs to be explained, and it's not.
I know, exactly. Everything in that universe needs to be explained. Like, what the fuck even happened? Like, why the fuck is the world so fucked up to begin with? Why, they need to explain.
Was there nukes that went off?
Yeah,
was there fucking like a Higgs boson or boson like an explode whenever they did the God particle shit that opened up some freaking like was there some sort of fucking freak accident?
Yeah,
like
probably
what
it's-
actually
yeah.
freaking happened? Like, I feel like there needs to be like, if you're gonna introduce this, this whole freaking universe, like you have to at least say like, oh yeah, this is a world ravaged by an experiment gone wrong, or alien invasion, or just like interdimensional freaking like I mean, what are they?
thing is,
Are they
that's-
aliens?
yeah, the
are they
solution-
gods? Are they freaking like interdimensional freaking beings? Are they
dead?
are they dead? Are they the dead? Like
Yeah.
risen? Like what are they? What is going on? Like I'm not gonna sit there and just play through a game that I just literally just do not understand whatsoever.
I know.
Yeah.
The thing
And
is,
to be
they don't
clear-
even explain the setup.
And to
in
be
the
clear, it's
beginning
not,
of the
because
game.
they don't say anything like in the trailers, it's because you actually read reviews where they said that they don't really explain anything up until like
the end of the game.
the end of the game.
Yeah. So
that's-
it's like,
I don't
okay,
know.
fuck
That's
that.
pretty-
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably gonna be like
Probably gonna be a fucking bullshit explanation.
yeah, it's probably
anyway.
going to be some flashback with Mads Mikkelsen's character. I mean, obviously he's some kind of like scientist or something like that, and he probably did some experiment and went wrong, and then it's just fucking started this whole fucking mess. That's what you see in Death Stranding. I mean, that's kind of what I'm expecting. I don't know. I mean, I could be fucking dead wrong, but I mean, the thing is, like, they just expect
Could be
you to
death
fucking
stranded in your ideas, dude.
yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. They just the whole world itself has to be explained so fucking thoroughly, And
Well,
the
look
thing
at
is,
it-
like, even the shit that's going on within the fucking game, like, what the fuck is this black goo shit? What the fuck is
Yeah.
what the hell's with the bosses? What the hell is with like I said, the
This
fucking
chiral
200,
network.
the 200-foot fucking
President.
of the United States. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
a 200-foot
God,
president.
I mean,
it's
that
like-
makes the snake or Mount Snakemore
Yeah.
look like a fucking like genius
what's-
idea.
yeah, what's
like
with the
Albert
fucking-
Einstein himself came up with it.
Yeah, I know.
And this is
No,
just
you're-
like,
you're right.
I'm like, dude, that's like pretty freaking cringy.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing that. The rest of the trailer was amazing, and then I saw that, and I was like, wait, what? How
You know what
are
it-
you?
It reminded me of Honey, We Blew Up
Honey,
the Kid.
yeah, I know, right?
Dude,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be surprised if that was his inspiration. I mean, I know he's inspired by Mary Poppins, so I mean, that is not too far fetched,
Yeah, you're right.
Honey, I blew up the president.
Yeah,
Like,
it's fucking just I don't know. There's just something about seeing someone as an ethereal image like that. You would think that she'd be like maybe like naked or something. Not naked, but I don't know. Something a little bit more.
I know who the fuck made her clothes, dude. Like
No, yeah, like
what?
did
Yeah.
you just like grew with her? Like that's I don't
Yeah,
know.
It's the same
Dude,
woman who
it's-
like made the U.S. flag. She made her fucking clothes. And
Betsy Ross or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Betty Ross, is that her
Betty
name?
Ross, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
She fucking designed her fucking clothes.
And her
I don't know.
shoes, her freaking, I got some high heels, dude.
Size 175 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Women's.
women's 175. But yeah, like I don't know. There's just so many other things about this freaking game that are just like disgusting to me. I mean, just like the imagery, the freaking. I mean, dude, remember that? I was literally just showing you right now the freaking bike mechanics.
Yeah, that
I mean,
shit was okay. So yeah, Sean showed me like a video of like the biking, and you would think that if you were to make upgrades, it would actually make your traversing easier. But I mean, well, yeah, clearly you go through larger distances faster, somewhat, I guess.
Yeah, but they definitely try to make it annoying as they possibly can
Yeah,
for
you
you.
bump into like just like little rocks and like ledges that I defy. Like, okay, there's no way that in real life any kind of like bike would just stop.
Yeah,
From,
dude.
like,
the
a
thing is,
pebble or,
they
like,
they
a
actually the
small
fucking
ledge.
physics like obviously fucking suck. It
Yeah.
seems like they're like whatever rock you're hitting is like probably about 5 times harder to like get over than it is in real life.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
just like,
even the
they're
bridges
obviously
that
making
you-
it harder than it is in real life. I'm just like,
Yeah, even
what
the
fuck
bridges
kinda-
that you materialize.
Yeah.
you
Why
have
can't the
trouble
bike just
going
have like
through them.
bad? Well, you think a bike that looks like that would have some pretty decent shocks, but
Yeah.
it looks like it just straight up doesn't. I mean, even whenever you're going over the bridge, you like kind of like hit the bridge and it stops you and shit. I'm like, and then whenever you go on the other end of it and it's like,
Yeah. Also, you
fucking
probably
hiccup
still
and
have those
shit.
mechanics where you have to keep your balance with the trigger buttons.
dude.
I'm pretty sure there's some element of that as well.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's the whole point of the game. You
Sure,
know, it's
yeah.
like God, these people that fucking on the comment sections that just sit there and they try to argue with you about like how I'm tired of people saying that this is a walking simulator or a parcel transporting simulator.
Why are you tired of it?
Yeah, no,
why are you tired
but
of something
that's
like
what it
saying
is. Like, I'm sorry, God,
Dude,
there was
the thing
even
is,
one.
every fucking gameplay video that comes out, like it becomes
just
more and more of
yeah.
a fucking walking simulator.
Yeah.
It's like at first it was just
Just
kind of a joke.
reinforces the idea that this is definitely nothing but.
You look
I mean,
at
dude,
the-
even IGN's interview said that. It's like if if this seems like it's just a paraphrasing here, but like if this seems like it's a just a fetch quest like game. That's because it is. That's all you need to know. That's they put that in bold red so that you know what you're getting into exactly. All right, so yeah, the bike is just. I mean, it's just so shitty.
Yeah, like even the bridges that you materialize that are like pretty smooth, you have trouble with them. It's like, what the fuck? You bump into like the lines.
Yeah, I know, dude. It seems like
ribs or
all the bridges that you build and shit,
Yeah.
like in the roads and stuff. It's like it's even hard to like stay within the roads. It's like, dude, like how much of a fucking simulator is this trying to be? It's like some fucking whack ass fucking simulator. I mean, just like
That's apparently not even that accurate.
yeah, I know. The thing is, like, I've never like I already know that there's no way like riding a motorcycle in that type of terrain is that fucking hard. There's just no way. You can just tell by looking at it that it's like they try to make it annoying on purpose.
Yeah.
And that's the
Almost
fucking
like
thing.
punishing you for trying to
Dude,
upgrade.
it's fucking Kojima trolling fucking people. Like, I think he's just like so obsessed with trolling people. Like that, like it's fucked with the marketing of this game. It's fucked with the gameplay. It's fucked with the story.
Dude, I mean, remember whenever the freaking guy that's directing the new Metal Gear Solid movie, whenever he asked him, it's like, so what advice would you give me? Oh, betray your fans, betray your audience. Okay, that's kind of fucking fucked up.
I know, he was like, "Oh, that's so punk rock, dude." It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, literally, that's gonna be this guy's downfall. So shut the fuck up. Like, it's like, why don't you do things your own fucking way? Like, I know he's like trying to make Metal Gear, this movie, the most Kojima kind of game, like, which is commendable because like it's not his fucking source material,
Yeah.
But
And Metal Gear Solid was actually good.
Yeah,
but,
I know. Yeah, exactly.
You know.
So I think I understand why he's asking for Kojima's fucking advice, but like, he has to know that like that shit, like, oh, betray your audience. That's the fucking thing that like everybody hates about Kojima.
Yeah.
It's like Raiden, fucking like the switch with fucking Big Boss at the end of Phantom Pain. I'm like, those are the things that people hate about him. Like, that's the thing you're gonna be telling? Yeah, okay. Like, this guy probably just doesn't even know what he's in for. It's like.
Yeah,
everybody loved fucking MGS3 for a fucking reason,
God, there's
like,
so many
because it
freaking
didn't fuck with
Kojima
people that
dick
much.
suckers, dude.
Huh?
There's so many Kojima dick suckers
Oh, yeah,
still
I know.
clinging on, thinking that this game is something more than a freaking walking simulator.
Dude, the
and
thing is,
a
I
partial
would actually go as
transportation
far as to
simulator.
say that even if everything past like Act 3 and like starting with Act 4, even if that stops the delivery simulator portion of the game, like, I would still say that the game is still a delivery simulator because it's like probably at least like 80% of the game.
Yeah.
Like, if not like maybe 75,
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
And
I hear
therefore
that
not
it's like
worth playing.
15 to 20 hours worth of deliveries to holograms. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, well, first of all, I'm not going to sit through that. I wouldn't even sit through 1 hour of it. Sitting through fucking like up to 20. The thing is, like, I usually, whenever I play a Kojima game, I like to just play it with like all the Easter eggs, like just playing it with
Yeah, because you have a good time doing it.
yeah. The
Yeah.
thing is, that's the whole fucking point, is to have a fun time playing a game. But like, whenever you're playing,
playing a
so
game.
whenever I play,
What
so
the
whenever I
fuck?
play a game, I usually try to play it to like, I play all the fucking side missions or just do like anything I can to like get extra content, and
Yeah.
like to make the experience as fun as possible.
Yeah.
So I would probably play the side missions, which would probably make the game 20 hours.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, I kind of want to reiterate once again, like, we're not saying that it's like, okay, it needs to be dumbed down or anything like that. No, like, a game can be very, very artistic, very cerebral, but like, you still have to make it pleasing. You still have to make have it fun, because I mean, like, you're not gonna watch a movie of some guy just running for like 5 hours, like just like Forrest Gump whenever he was like doing cross country.
Yeah.
Right. Just showing him actually running, like, even like
Yeah.
in the quiet parts of him running, and like
Yeah, no, or a fucking Joker or some shit. Whenever like after the subway scene, it's just him running for like fucking like the rest of the movie and shit.
yeah, I know, right.
It's like, well, it's like
At that point, it's like, okay, I gotta go to work, or I've got got to do some other stuff that's besides playing a video game right now.
Yeah,
you know?
besides
Walking, not
walking
even
in a
playing.
game,
It's just
dude.
like walking in a video game. That's literally what
that's
it's like. I just hear that this game just tests your fucking patience so fucking much. And I think, did you hear about the Edge magazine review?
No.
Oh my
Really?
God.
Yeah, they literally couldn't finish the game, and they just aren't going to review it. They're just like they're a pretty big publication too.
Yeah, I know about it.
Like, so they said, yeah, we're just not going to review it because it's just it was so bad that we couldn't finish it.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, actually, we could have used your review, like your low review, to kind of offset the fucking score. Like, because the thing is, I want this game to get shitty reviews, like. Because obviously, what we see now, like score-wise, is not even representative of like what the reviewers are even saying. So
But
people need to
Brian,
know.
But Brian, you haven't even played the
I
game
don't give
yet.
a shit if I haven't
You
played it,
haven't
dude.
played the game.
Like the
We've
thing is,
seen the gameplay,
I know I've
though,
seen
you
the
know?
game. I've watched,
Yeah.
like probably at least like maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of gameplay. I've seen all the
Dude.
trailers. I've fucking read
Yeah.
all the fucking.
That's the crazy
I've
thing
read
about-
all the interviews with
Right.
Kojima. I've watched all the panel discussions. I've fucking. I know what this fucking game
Yeah.
is gonna be like. You
But
know,
for-
it's like I see all the game mechanics. I'm like, okay, I hate everything about this game. Pretty much at the core of the fucking game, I hate
Dude,
it.
the thing is, you get these people that talk shit to you though about like you're talking shit just blindly. I'm like, no, we're actually just completely judging the game off of what we've seen, and you're defending what you haven't seen.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and being informed about what the control scheme is.
Yeah.
The thing is, what it is, guys, is that once you get the controller in your hand and start actually doing the actions yourself, this kind of force ghost inhabits your whole body, and just kind of goes through the crevices of your brain, and then that's whenever you'll have the right to say anything because
No, not until you beat it.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
no,
Not
dude,
until you
not
beat the
not
whole
until you
game.
like it, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? God.
That's
That's
correct
gonna be the
answer
final
right
thing. It's like you're
Until
fucking
you
with
like
somebody.
it.
It's like, I beat the game. I just didn't like it. Well, just wait till you like it, dude.
there. Yeah.
It's like is that what they're gonna be saying?
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
literally all they're gonna have
Yeah, we
after
don't-
that, dude. Because like, I mean, these people like literally.
You don't see people being like, "Hey, why are you saying it's gonna be badass? You haven't played it yet."
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Dude, the thing is, I have a pretty good imagination. Like I feel like I can see like the button prompts that come up. I can see like how they're controlling the character.
Played enough
I
games.
can imagine how it feels playing the
Yeah,
motherfucking
we've
game.
we've literally played a ton of games, including every single one of his.
Yeah, I know.
So, and I can tell you right off the bat, the controls, the way they feel, controlling the character. I mean, it's like a 10 times downgrade from MGS5.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Yeah, because of all the fucking balancing shit,
dude. I mean, just even the animation, the physics, the fucking the vehicle.
there was a
The
part-
vehicles didn't have these sorts of problems like they do in this game. And
Yeah, there was a
you
part where,
didn't have like some crazy fucking like physics
the
problems
thing
with
is-
just
yeah.
walking through the terrain and running.
I think it's kind of like I think most of the reviewers came to a consensus though that like it's pretty much like not as good as Metal Gear Solid 5 as far as the controls and the combat goes and the
okay,
stealth.
that's a lot. That means a
I know.
lot.
Yeah, I know exactly. Okay, basically all the good parts of the game that I wanted to play like aren't as good as MGS5. So it's like even the reviewers that gave it a really high score said that about the game, is that it's not as good as MGS5 as far as the controls and the combat and stuff. So it's like, well, I was looking for something at least as good as MGS5. So
Yeah.
it's not.
And
You
I-
can
and I
just
don't
tell
think
that
that's
the
asking
level
too much
design.
from Kojima.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like, dude, you already made this game. It's like it's obvious that his team at Konami like was actually responsible for the badass things about those games, like at least as far as the gameplay goes. Because this shit, it's like, man, like you can just like now that we have a actual comparison, Konami plus Kojima compared to just Kojima. Now you can kind of see the elements that Konami was actually providing and contributing to his games. And like I have to say, like God, they
Oh, man,
probably
are you
contributed a
gonna
good
be
50% of like,
Are you about to apologize for Konami? You're gonna be a Konami
Fuck, dude,
apologist?
fuck,
Yes.
yes, dude. I don't give a
Oh,
fucking
no.
shit, dude.
Yeah,
Fuck,
dude.
dude. I
These people
literally
can
don't
suck
give
a
a fucking
dick.
shit. I know, dude. Like these fucking little Kojima fanboys, dude. Like I can actually see what the fuck happened with Konami and Kojima. Like, and the thing is, we're not alone in saying that. Like, there's a fucking lot of people.
there's a
coming
lot of
out
people
now
saying it now,
and saying
dude.
like, oh
We've been
yeah,
saying it for a
I
while,
can kind of
but yeah.
see, where Konami kind of held this guy's feet to the fire, and they were keeping him in check.
Yeah.
Like, and it's fucking obvious now, dude. It's like, Kojima is unhinged, and he's just like, dude, like, come on, like, people were like, whenever I say that, like, Death Stranding, like, I've commented sometimes about, like, just how fucking weird the game is and shit, and people are like, dude, come on, let's be honest, like, Metal Gear was kind of weird too. I'm like, dude, like, no, it was not weird. Like, watch the trailers.
Cool as fuck.
Yeah, watch the trailers for Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and then tell me those fucking games look fucking weird.
Yeah,
it's like,
at
dude,
the
it
very
looks
least,
like
the
a
marketing
fucking
was
badass
different.
motherfucking game.
Where's the fucking 300, 400-foot fucking president in those trailers,
no, exactly.
dude?
Like, people want to fucking
you do have
say,
a 400-foot soldier in VR missions.
no, dude, it's like
Yeah.
people even think that, like, oh yeah, fucking what, Solidus was fucking president. Like, oh yeah, just what did Snake? Yeah, what did Snake do? He just like fucking saw that he like his like identical fucking version of himself was just president of the United States. Like, yeah, it's like, it's kind of ridiculous, but whatever. I mean, I guess the story of the game was pretty entertaining enough to fucking let me accept
and I mean,
that.
and
That's
to be
a
fair,
pretty-
You could argue, you could just.
He did look obviously way older.
he looked
and
about
it's
10
like,
years
dude,
older,
I've
yeah.
seen pictures of people that look exactly like me in the newspaper and on the street.
Yeah,
And
I know.
it's like, dude, like, I've seen people that look really similar to me.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So it's like,
And-
it's not even that fucking absurd, but like, dude, a 200-foot president, like, okay, yeah.
This
It's
one
like,
takes the cake, dude.
I know, it's like, dude, come on, like, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that fucking Death Stranding is as weird as fucking Metal Gear. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like,
You
you're
mean
literally just
Metal Gear
making
is
excuses
weird?
for
Yeah.
this fucking game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I literally don't give a shit. Like, basically, these people, these Kojima fanboys, are just like, they're.
Dude, they're clinging on.
Yeah,
You know what's
they're
funny
clinging
though
on.
is that they're actually clinging on to the idea that there's more to the gameplay that we're not being told about yet. Even though IGN,
it's like-
just explicitly says this game is a fetch quest adventure game, and that's what
all
the
it
game
is?
is. That's all it is. Even this. Oh, the good news is that it's that there are side quests, but they're also fetch quests. So it's like, this is a fetch quest game. Get over it. But for some reason, they believe in their hearts that Kojima. It's holding out on this fucking crazy gameplay.
day.
God, even if he is, dude, wouldn't that be just the fucking shittiest fucking thing ever?
Well, it would be the shittiest marketing for sure.
Yeah, well,
Like,
it would be. The thing is, not only that, but it would be the shittiest game ever because, like, he's literally holding out until like fucking 20 to 25 hours, maybe 15 at least, if you're not doing any side quests.
before you get
15
into
to
some
25 hours, like, into the game, and then you fucking finally get some interesting gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm sorry, that's a fucking shitty ass game.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, I don't understand, like.
I mean, it's fucking people. The thing is, like, they themselves don't like the idea of this entire game being a parcel transfer or transporting. It's like, oh, yeah, just wait, man. Just wait till the actual game, Wait, there's got to be some sort of embargo that... I saw one comment. It's like, it just seems to me like there's just some sort of embargo that's still in place where they can't talk about what happens,
Dude, there's probably things with the narrative that they, like, oh yeah, like, I mean, I think it's kind of obvious that you're going to end up going to the moon or some shit, like,
Right.
towards the second part of the... Or not the second, but the ending of the game might take place on the moon. And I think that's the part that they're trying to keep from people. And but the thing is, like, even if they go to the moon, I'm pretty sure the fucking game mechanics are gonna play the same. And if there even is any gameplay, like, I feel like it might just be the 2-hour-long cutscenes and shit.
God, imagine if it's even more of a hindrance to transport shit because there's no gravity or like
Gravity's
gravity.
lighter.
and
Oh
shit.
man, that'd be so
It's like-
shitty.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, they did say that the ending is like longer than most movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's over 2 hours from what I heard. And it's
Oh,
like,
man.
dude, like, God
I
damn,
don't know about
dude.
that one, man. I don't know about
I mean,
that voice.
I think a good like maybe hour is acceptable. It's kind of what we had with MGS4.
Yeah.
And then, but
And,
two fucking
but also
hours,
that was
dude?
because we were fans of the series.
Yeah.
We wanted some story content.
Yeah, dude, the
Yeah,
thing is,
well,
everybody was wanting closure to the
and that
story.
was literally closure for an entire fucking series of games.
Right.
Yeah.
That was literally 6 games worth, and then that was the ending.
Mm-hmm.
But like, dude, this is just like completely different. 2 hours cutscene. I was like, dude, it's pretty obvious that this guy just wanted to make a movie and he didn't want to make a game. And now I'm just wondering, it's like, why didn't you just make a movie?
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally
He had
known
all
as
the
the
Hollywood
cinema guy,
connections.
and yeah, you got Hollywood connections. You're literally known as the cinematic game director. It's like, God, just freaking hire a team that knows how to freaking make that knows how to freaking hire a DP, do the traditional thing.
I don't know. Maybe he just didn't have the funding for it yet. Like, I feel like, I don't know what the fucking budget was for Death Stranding, but I can't imagine it being like.
I'm gonna say it was probably somewhere between 30 to 60 million.
Yeah, probably somewhere around there. Which, he's probably going to make enough money from this game to make a movie, or at least a Netflix series or something like that.
Yeah.
'Cause
Who knows, dude?
Yeah,
But
I think
at the end of the day,
I think the Mandalorian, like, the budget for that was like maybe like
10 million per episode?
No, 50 million per. No, it was not. Actually, no, I think it was like 15 to 20 million per episode.
Yeah.
Which is like You know, those are like hour-long episodes and shit. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it might take Kojima like $100 million to make a mini series or something like that. So maybe that's what he's aiming for. Who knows?
Who fucking knows? I don't know. The thing is that I just like. I mean, these fucking people that are talking in these comment sections are just so absurd with their fanboyism and their Kojima blinders, man. Like, you know, there was this guy that was commenting. He was like, yeah, like a fucking, you know, fuck IGN for giving this game a 6.5. Like, Metacritic is the only, one that matters, even though IGN score is calculated into that. And it's like, so basically, like, what Metacritic says is what's true, and this game is basically an 8.5.
Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, I know that's ridiculous because most of the people that fucking reviewed the game actually fucking said terrible things about it, and it's like they obviously like were fucking gave it a higher score than what the actual review was indicating.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then the thing is, Edge Magazine is not even in those reviews either. Like, just because they couldn't finish the game, they hated it. Imagine like how much more that would have offset the average of the scores.
Yeah,
it's like if they gave it like a 0 out of 10 or some shit.
Though.
You know,
you're paid to do what they do.
Dude, imagine. Okay, so I saw this guy. Like, he's basically like some fucking really indie reviewer. I think he's like One Up Chuck or some shit. God, I feel like I'm even giving him exposure by even fucking saying this. But like, he has like 2,000 subscribers or something. And he's sitting here saying, it's like, oh man, the mainstream, like, gaming journalism is dead. It's a dying fucking breed of people. And it's like, it's fucking like, it's on its way out. It's like, people, like, they're just scared of fucking people like Young and Angry Joe and shit. It's like, dude, like, this has been, like, first of all, like, that might have been happening maybe about like 5 years ago, but like, fucking dude, YouTube has been taken over by corporate like interests,
Yeah.
So it's like IGN is like first thing that shows up now. It's like, dude, they've taken over fucking YouTube. Like, until there's another fucking like streaming platform like YouTube, like, that's actually like completely independently owned and stuff, like IGN is going to be relevant, GameSpot's going to be relevant.
You go to Google and you type in Death Stranding review, they're the first review that pops up.
Yeah,
so shut the fuck up,
I know,
dude.
it's like, and I'm sitting here like, dude, like,
what, you think you're the future of? It's like, get the fuck.
They're
over
all
yourself.
saying this shit just because they got butthurt by fucking like Edge Magazine or fucking IGN or like, you know what I'm saying? It's like this guy was specifically talking about Edge Magazine. He was saying, this fucking magazine, the guy that fucking got the game, he's paid to fucking review the game and he just couldn't finish it. It's like, man, this guy should be fucking fired. It's like, we need fucking people who have the fucking, inspiration to fucking finish a game like Death Stranding. And I'm just like, dude, like,
I guess you
imagine
need
this, dude.
You need the motivation.
Imagine that there's a fucking game,
task.
like a fucking a notable fucking publication like fucking Edge Magazine, and then you have like they're giving
guy that hasn't even played the game yet.
Well, no, there's fucking like they're getting paid to fucking review the game, like the guy who's
dude, think about it this way: if they were to actually have put up a review, even a negative one, like they're the ones who actually made the decision. You know what? God, it's not even worth the large amount of money that we would have gotten from ad clicks, or just advertisements and clicks from putting up a Hideo Kojima game review. It's like. Yeah. Obviously, that would have got a lot of traffic. They actually sacrificed that because they just straight up couldn't finish the game. So if that's not a testament to how fucking boring and shitty this fucking game is, then I don't know what is, dude.
Dude, the thing is, you have to think about it this way, too. The guy who was in charge of reviewing this game literally put his job on the line to just fucking, like, not even do his job.
Yeah.
Like, he just literally could be fired. But he's like, the game sucks that much where he would literally give up his job or risk his job as a fucking games journalist.
Where does
to fucking just
at Edge Magazine?
So
it's Edge Magazine.
But how did they say it in the magazine itself? Like
I think they have like comments about the game, but they don't actually have a fully written review or anything.
Yeah, I need to look this up.
They said that it's not going to be published in this month's Edge Magazine because the reviewer didn't have the inspiration to finish the game. Oh, yeah, they actually did make that official statement.
Oof.
Yeah.
God damn.
And
that right there is the review. That is the review. But dude, it's literally a 0 out of 10. Like, if you can't finish the game, even if you're getting paid to do so.
Dude, I feel like there's some kind of fucking conspiracy going on with this shit. It's like, man, like, I feel like, the guy who fucking made this fucking review, like, maybe they just didn't want to fucking, like, basically get paid off by fucking Sony or something to give this game a high score.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you have, of course, IGN, who's like the biggest in the fucking industry. Like they probably like, okay, you know what, fuck Kojima, fuck Sony. Like, we're not gonna fucking like, you know, bow down to them like just because they're paying us or something. I have a feeling like a lot of these other smaller review sites like probably got paid off because they gave the game like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But they fucking just talk shit about the game the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, I couldn't even finish Yang Ya's review. I got maybe like halfway.
The guy that was talking about the Edge magazine review, and the guy like he was just, oh yeah, fucking these are dying breed or whatever, like these mainstream gaming journalism sites.
Yeah.
Like he actually mentioned Yang Ya
as the future.
Yeah, no, it's like Yang Ya and Angry Joe is like, dude, like literally these games just fucking like fucking suck Kojima's ass, fucking like all fucking, you know.
Yeah, so they're
literally they're just fucking so fucking stuck up his ass.
It's borderline, if not outright, just like conflict of interest at this point.
Exactly. I'm just sitting here thinking, it's like, dude, like Kojima Productions knew what they were doing by sending these fucking people like a fucking review copy. It's not even a review copy. It's like a fucking straight up special edition fucking review copy, like where you get like all this extra shit for free. And it's like they're giving them all this shit.
Them up, dude.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, like they're giving them all this free shit. And you know, they're obviously like huge fans of Kojima. They're just fucking, you know,
I mean, to be
like suck up to him big time. It's like
and
it's pretty
fair,
fucking certain that they were going to give them a fucking perfect score.
And to be fair, like in Yang Ya's case, he also, I think, he sort of got similar treatment from like Fallout, and he's still giving them like negative treatment and all that. But I mean, I don't know. I think maybe there is a sort of like special, there might be like a special place in his heart for Kojima, you know, because like
I think he's actually way more.
Yeah,
of
dude, he was a
Kojima
fucking
fanboy.
hardcore Hideo Kojima fanboy.
Yeah.
Look
That's
no
his claim to
further than
fame.
he made his career off of Hideo Kojima. He rode his coattails basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he owes his success to Kojima pretty much.
Yeah,
Like,
so he's not gonna fucking sit there and backstab the guy that got him where he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not. Yeah, he literally owes his entire freaking career as a gaming journalist to Kojima.
He described the controls as taking off the training wheels of walking in game.
that's fucking bullshit. Like,
Okay, yeah, I'm just waiting to see how many of these developers are gonna actually just be like, damn, dude, the walking in this game was so fucking good.
Dude,
we're gonna
actually
implement a lot of like next Grand Theft Auto is just gonna
Yeah.
have like fucking balancing shit. Like,
yeah, dude, that's
yeah,
I actually
fucking
seen a
right.
bunch of comments of people. Oh yeah, this is going to be a game changer for sure. It's probably going to be a game changer like on the same level as Mario. I'm just like,
Oh
dude,
my
like
God.
what the fuck?
This is like
Ga-
the
what the
gamer
fuck-
version
yeah.
of like bigger than sliced bread.
Dude,
you know?
the thing is, like,
bigger than Spike.
Kojima has never really been a game changer kind of director. Like, he usually just does things his own way, and then
Sure.
people really like his games, and that's pretty much where it ends. Like, I feel
Well,
like
dude,
I
the
feel like
thing
Ghost
is-
Recon was the only game that really kind of copied Kojima, but they did such a shitty job that it's like, okay, like it's not even worth trying to compete with Kojima, and everybody knows that too. It's like Kojima.
Yeah, well, the
does,
thing is,
Kojima,
he's the one
like-
who actually kind of like follows trends more than he
Yeah,
sets
no,
them.
actually, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, look at the 3D camera that he had to implement into Subsistence.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that was literally because Splinter Cell paved the way for that. He's like, well, I need that in my fucking updated version, so we're going to put that in there. Straight up jacked it.
Yeah,
you
even the
know?
open world, like it was influenced from Grand Theft Auto, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like,
God,
you know,
that's one of the biggest disappointments in Kojima for me, is this whole like his obsession with open world.
Dude, you know what's really fucking shitty about this whole situation? Is that, remember whenever he first announced the game, first trailer was even released, and he was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a very like linear, kind of like story-driven game.
Just a good, you know, linear, just like a sort not maybe not being like a indie sort of like, but sort of, right?
Point A
Kind
to
of
point B, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
sure.
in a traditional sense. But, and then he announced that it was going to be open world. So he actually had an entirely different game plan that
Right.
wasn't going to be open world, and it wasn't going to be about partial transportation. So I'm like, what happened to that version of the game? You really sacrificed the entire fucking like game scenario just because you wanted to make it open world? You basically he probably had a way better idea. And then he basically just like, you know what? I want to do something open world. I got to think of an idea that's going to like make it like, when you traverse, okay, delivery. And then he just fucking made the game that.
Yeah,
It was probably going to be a traditional kind of action game where you like kind of infiltrate bases and shit.
that which would have been pretty. I mean, would
Yeah,
have
I
been
mean, I
pretty
was,
good. But I mean, God, I just after playing 5, it's just like, man, just fucking, just stay like in your lane, dude. Like just kind of like either that or do like way more research whenever it comes to like making a good open world game.
Yeah,
because
dude,
like
obviously
he's
he's
very
like-
bad at it.
Yeah, dude. The thing is, like, I was thinking, like, man, hopefully he learns his lesson with Death Stranding, because, like, there was a lot of needless traversing in MGS5, and he literally just completely took that and just like did the opposite.
That was one of the things that we had talked about in our previous video.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And that we were just like, dude, like, I really hope that if it's going to be open world, that it's just not like freaking pointless traveling. And then it ended up being that
Only
times
that.
a billion.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, holy shit. Like, that's basically all that anybody's talking about is how much needless traversing there is in this fucking game. It's like, wow. So not only did that happen, but it happened, and it was like the main talking point of what this game actually fucking is.
Yeah, I literally saw the fourth trailer thinking like, oh, this is probably just like a demo of like somewhat of like what some of the environments will be like. This isn't going to be like the actual game. This isn't a real gameplay video. It's not. It's just a demo. Little did we know, it was a gameplay video. It straight up was.
Yeah, you talking about the initial one, the fourth trailer at E3 a couple of years ago? Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I know. People were like, yeah, wait till we see the real. Show us some real gameplay, Kojima.
Those people are still talking. Wait until we see the real game come out.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. No thanks. Like, dude, as soon as I saw him pissing and I saw the baby crying and then Jeff Keighley being in there, and then it's like they had to. I remember on that first gameplay video, they actually had to make a cut. And I was like, okay, well, there you go right there. It's just boring.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They had to make a cut because it was too long.
Yeah, too long of a distance. It's just, okay, well, that's kind of a red flag if there ever was one.
I remember watching that trailer, or both gameplay trailers, like in 2X and just forgetting that they were in 2X.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
the game might seem a lot better at 2X. Like, I mean,
it just kind of goes to show how shitty the pacing is in this game. It's literally 2 times too slow.
Yeah. I mean, I
think it's actually probably about somewhere near 5 times too slow.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, the thing is, that's what I think it was one of the reviews that said that. Oh yeah, this game is basically like Timefall, but like in reverse, because it's like you fucking like, it's like 40 hours that you'll never get back.
Yep.
It's like literally what this fucking game is. It's just a fucking huge waste of time.
Yeah.
God damn, dude. Man. Fucking, dude, I don't know. God, the people that just, man, there's just so many people that are just like talking like in these comment sections though that are like, I mean, I like typically don't even, I kind of stopped responding to YouTube comments like a while back, or just like stopped like commenting in general. I actually have my notifications off for any comment that I make.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to waste my freaking time. But I've actually been scrolling down and just seeing these people's idiotic comments, and I have to at least comment on them, put my 2 cents, because like these people are just like saying like the dumbass shit like that, like, oh, this is gonna be just wait till the fucking the actual game, and then, oh, there's gonna be a freaking they're gonna lift the second embargo on. It's like the second embargo, dude. Why would Sony allow Kojima to like even place an embargo on these review companies?
What if he places a third embargo where like even the player, even if you beat the game, you can't talk about it?
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. These people are just clinging on to like false hope, and it's like they don't want to accept the fact that this game is just going to be all fucking just delivery. It's just a delivery simulator.
Yeah, and even like the action portions of the game, they just look fucking like just bland.
Yeah. Oh god. Like, I mean, I didn't show you some other parts of the game. I just showed you the motorcycle stuff.
Yeah,
Dude, the shooting mechanics, clunky as fuck. The running, the freaking, like, everything is so clunky.
Yeah, I
everything.
think that's the main thing about the game that I mean, as far as the animation and the gameplay, it's like everything looks really fucking goddamn clunky.
Dude, I mean, the boss battles are so repetitive too.
Yeah,
and it's just like, dude, it's like, okay, so basically from what I've seen, all you do in these boss battles, you just run away, try to freaking get a good spot where you can throw a piss grenade at him.
Yeah, dude, it's basically like, think about like if you just fought the like Raven in the tank like fucking over and over again. That's basically
that was
like
every boss battle.
It's all the boss battles.
Just in a different environment.
Yeah, and the thing is, that was like a fucking not even a real boss battle either. That was like a really fucking easy one and shit.
That wasn't even him. That wasn't even his boss battle.
Yeah, no.
That was just a mini freaking boss battle.
Mini boss battle, but that's like literally what they based like all of the boss battles off of on fucking Death Stranding.
Yeah,
like,
which was pretty cool. Like, but that's like PS1.
Dude, it's PS1, but like, dude, like, that was only one boss battle.
That's definitely not the go-to boss battle whenever people are like saying their favorite boss battles in the MGS franchise.
Yeah.
It's like that's actually the one that almost doesn't even really count as a boss battle.
Yeah, it's another instance of like watching it in 2X. It's like, it's not. It's very repetitive. It's nothing to write home about. But I mean, I guess whatever. And then I realize it's 2X, and I go back and replay it. like in just like it's in real time. It's like, damn, it's so like
just
excruciating,
slow
yeah.
and like the animation is shit. I mean, granted, yeah, the graphics look amazing in the game, but like what do y'all think about this whole fucking aspect of like there being like this crazy social media aspect to this game, or there's like this whole like I guess
social media. What is it? The social. What is it? The social strand system. I
Okay,
don't know, man.
so
I don't like it
How
at
are
all.
we gonna have like a social media in a post-apocalyptic world?
It just seems so fucking stupid to me. Like the fact that you have Monster Energy, you have fucking the social media system, and I don't know. I mean, I just think
300-foot presidents.
yeah, I don't know, dude. It's like what the fuck is going on? What kind of fucking dystopia is this? You know,
Dude, it's not even. It's just fucking random.
Yeah,
it's just
like,
random art
yeah,
house
well,
bullshit,
yeah,
dude. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just like it's so fucking far removed from fucking reality that it's like
You can't take
why
it serious.
The fuck, yeah, why the fuck is there a goddamn social media that's like, you know, you like? I guess that has to do something with what the chiral network is or some shit.
Dude, I know, right? It's fucking ridiculous. It's like it's almost like that's the currency in the game. But like, this is what it was in the GameSpot review. Remember that one bitch that was saying, like, that one kunst that was saying that you know, it's like, oh yeah, you know, it might be like tedious and bullshit whenever you have to do the missions, but whenever you get back to the, you know, whenever you get back to base after completing a mission, you are flooded with love and you know, and social media likes.
It just feels so good. Just the great payoff, getting praised so much.
Yeah, you remember that shit?
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude,
movie.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
So basically, this game is basically like the way they justify putting you through this like just utter bullshit freaking gameplay system, and there's just like this, oh
Like,
god,
tedious as fuck.
tedious
Yeah, obviously
as
it's
fuck,
fucking tedious.
monotonous, just fucking.
God, we never
just,
even really talked about the fucking balancing shit, like the menus and
Yeah,
shit.
no.
Anyway,
yeah,
we'll
well,
get into
but-
that
but-
later.
that she
but,
failed
like-
to even address is
Yeah, we'll actually get. I'll take a note.
She didn't even freaking like explain that. She didn't go into enough detail about how much bullshit you actually have to go through just to get to that fucking end base there and transport the fucking package and shit.
Right.
It's like that's where the actual gameplay is. But we'll flood you with likes. Oh, you get so many likes and you just feel
I
good
know.
about what
Actually,
you've
yeah,
done.
it's kind of crazy
Like, oh
because
my
you know,
baby,
I
like-
think new age gamers these days need fucking some kind of like dopamine kind of release,
like
like
positive reinforcement.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh yeah, what
they-
you just
yeah.
did was good,
yeah,
man.
they need some kind of external validation that's just like, okay, you know,
Which is basically what social media is all about.
You can just
It's
get
just-
that
it's-
through social media for
all,
one thing.
all it's doing is encouraging the fucking same shit that's bringing down society.
yeah,
in my
exactly.
opinion.
And he's trying to say that you need.
a flashy level complete just isn't enough anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people that are playing this game, like the new types of gamers, I feel like that are, you know, just playing games in general. Like they need some kind of like
Reward
some kind of
system?
reward thing. Because like you know, I was hanging out with one of my friends, and she has like, you know, a little brother and sister that are like, you know, ages like 8 through 11, and I was playing like Shinobi 3. And you know, I was just playing it, you know, and just having fun playing it. And they're like, "What are you actually doing in this game? Like, what do you actually get from it? You know, like, what do you get? Like, I was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. Is there like any kind of points, or like, is there any kind of
Coins and-
yeah, some kind of like in-game currency or some shit?
Well, dude,
you know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
obviously
Or-
they're playing games like Fortnite and all the other,
Yeah,
all
like
the
some-
new games.
yeah,
It's
where
like
you,
you
like,
get
loot and
achievements,
shit.
trophies,
Yeah.
freaking coins. You get, you know, you kill an enemy, like, all this loot and shit. And you
Yeah.
get, dude, like that's basically. I mean, it
Yeah,
kind of
the
goes.
thing
It
is,
kind of
yeah.
goes into, you know, the whole social media thing. Like we get people that are like just sucked into social media and
Yeah.
they like try to live like a parallel life. That's
Yeah,
they
the
don't
thing
even-
is, you know, fucking people, like the majority of fucking people, like just post on social media just so they can get likes.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
literally all it's all about.
Yeah.
Like some people might,
Most
you know,
people,
just
that
post
is
it
the
because they,
case.
yeah, they just want to fucking post it, you know, to share it with
just
friends. or
share with
whatever.
friends and just kind of make people laugh. But like
Yeah.
people genuinely like. The vast majority of people go on there and just get the likes, and that's kind of
so
like
basically, like, you know, there's just kind of like digital type of currency that people need, some type of fucking value system that they fucking need. And
you know what's
it's like,
ridiculous
you know,
about the social strand system, though?
Wait, hold on.
This
Let me
is
make this
not- yeah.
point. So I was like playing this game, and like, you know, I told these kids, I was like, oh, you know, what do you get out of playing this game? You get satisfaction, and they just fucking started laughing and shit. I was like, what the fuck? Like, is this what the new age kids are into? Is just like you need some kind of like
You
like
get
system or like in-game currency or something, that you need something kind of like a digital physical asset or something. You know?
They want to get a in-game currency so they can spend it on like new skins or
yeah, exactly. But I'm just like,
voice lines or
dude,
whatever.
like fuck all that shit. All you really need is to have fun. Like
Yeah.
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 I
But
mean,
what point were you gonna make about the social?
The thing is,
strand system?
it's always been part of like gaming. Not always, but like to some extent. You know, there's like you play a fighting game, you play you beat the game, you get a new character, you know, stuff like that. But like nowadays, it's like either behind like either the currency that you earn playing the game, or even spend like real life money, like getting.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's that's kind of the aspect that's like.
Yeah, but you know what's stupid about this freaking social strand system is that it's actually just not even real. There's just fake ass likes that you get just from like a character in the game or
it's
something.
fucking ridiculous. It's almost like a fucking just another layer of fucking just a bad idea. It's like, you know, first of all, I think a lot of people even agree that like social media has like destroyed our fucking culture and shit, you know, and just like it's a bad thing for society.
Yeah.
But then this game is literally putting a social media within the you know the virtual environment. It's like, oh yeah, you know, I got to get off the social media and walk, you know, just get outside in the virtual game, you know. You got to get some fresh air in the virtual game. It's like, okay, but you're not even fucking like, yeah, it's basically just like, you know, proposing what the problem is, but like, oh yeah, let me just get out in the real world and explore then, you know, and get off the social media. And it's like, well, that's not really solving the problem. It's kind of just, you know,
it's reinforcing it even more.
Yeah, no,
actually,
and it's like, well,
God,
all it
it's
is-
like a new layer. It's like Inception.
yeah, no, it's
It's like
basically, you get out of the social
within
media, you
and
get
shit.
out of the social media in the fucking virtual world, and then you go back into the virtual world instead of actually going into the real world.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually like pretty, yeah, I don't know. I condemn it, dude.
yeah.
Like, I actually just don't like this idea.
It's a pretty
Dude, the
clumsy,
thing is,
pretty clumsy way
yeah,
of like.
I
trying to
always
get your point
thought that
across.
fucking, even like as far as cinematic value goes, I always thought that like whenever I see a movie with people using phones and social media and texting and shit, it's like the most fucking uncinematic thing you can possibly fucking imagine. I feel like it's like, you know, like Joker. Like I feel like all these movies like lately are like, you know, that have been coming out. They all take place in the 80s and shit. It's like, because there was no fucking phones back then. It's like everybody was just like an actual network of fucking like social, you know, their social lives.
Social networks,
you know?
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
I like how,
Actual social networks
Yeah.
that didn't rely on just like
Yeah.
fucking likes and shit.
What
Like,
I-
oh yeah, man, how many followers you got? It's like, what, dude? Like, is that what this shit's coming to? It's like,
Yeah.
all that shit's fucking fabricated
I know,
anyway.
it's all fake.
It's not even that hard.
But this is just
to,
adds
like,
another layer of fakeness to it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just phony. This whole fucking game is just phony as fuck. You know, it's just like, you know, just trying to fucking throw out whatever it can to get your attention. You know, it's like, you know, I felt like that's what this,
likes is
Yeah, I know.
This game, you know, requires your patience. It requires love, and it requires
yeah. I don't
But
know.
didn't you? So the game, is it trying to paint social media in a positive light or in a negative light?
That's
well,
literally what the chiral network is, and like it's like literally like part of the social strand system, and it's like connected to the chiral network and everything. Like, and you
Right, so
basically
it's
your
a-
mission is to go throughout the country and rebuild America,
Yeah.
and build like you know, expand the chiral network.
basically,
The
you're
thing is,
you're going to these cities and you're like reestablishing their connection to the chiral network. Basically,
Yeah, the thing is, you know,
what it's doing. So
honestly,
it's
yeah,
kind of it's
I
kind of
mean-
it's kind of a terrible message.
Yeah,
Basically,
no, it
kind
is
of like,
actually. Here's what if I can actually kind of theorize, because you know, if you actually watch the briefing cutscene, they actually kind of make the enemies like out to be like these decentralists, like which basically they
Terrorists.
yeah, they're well, no, decentralists. Like
Yeah.
they basically have a decentralized
well, they literally
ideology.
call them terrorists in the.
Well, yeah,
fucking-
they do. So basically, these people have a decentralized ideology that's basically, you know, they're basically small communities that are self-sustained, but they're still kind of connected to each other.
Basically, just like freaking local government.
Yeah, so it's like, and then it's your job to basically come in there with the chiral network and fucking like just unite everybody in every city, and like they're all connected to the same network.
Yeah,
You
so
know
basically,
what
like
I'm saying?
reestablishing the federal government overlord. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, well, this actually sounds like you're working for the bad guy.
Yeah, I know. It's like I'm actually. It's
What
kind
if
of
this is like
reminds
a
me.
MGS2
Exactly.
scenario?
I was exactly saying. It's like, okay, Solidus is actually the fucking good guy, but like. I feel like this is going to be the same thing in this game. It's
Except
like, oh
it's
yeah,
not
they're
gonna be as
basically gonna,
in-depth.
yeah,
It's not
they're
gonna be
gonna
as,
have like the enemies or the terrorists of this game, like have this fucking like actually like good ideology that's actually probably, you know, gonna, you know, the thing is like I feel like, you know, the only thing that you can really like equate it to is like blockchain technology or something,
Right.
where it's like fully decentralized and it's like, you know, part of the same network, and it's like, you know, it's basically like a, I don't know.
Dude, here's
I don't wanna
basically
fucking,
okay.
you know-
Well, here's basically a really good example of like what's happened like a real world instance of this actually happening. YouTube, whenever it started out, it was literally just like Wild West, freaking post videos, fucking post whatever comments,
and then the chiral network.
Yeah, and then so then the mainstream media, we want a piece of this shit. They're basically represent the federal government. They come in there, fucking take over, and just corporatize the fuck out of it. Now you can't fucking post what you want anymore. You can't fucking you have to self censor yourself.
Yeah,
and then, just talking about video.
YouTube was it was looking to be like pretty much the death of like mainstream media, but you said, you've got like Conan O'Brien getting a piece of the pie, and now he's like one of the biggest YouTube accounts like ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Jimmy Fallon's gonna be. I don't know if he's gonna be in the game, but he's probably gonna be promoting it too. And or at least talking about it. But like I don't know, dude. It's like you just have these like late show fucking late night talk show hosts that are like all over YouTube. They're all in the trending section. It's like you're probably gonna see Death Stranding all over the trending section, and I don't know, dude. It's just so fabricated. And I'm just like, that's pretty much what the chiral network is. And that's why I'm like actually against the ideology of the game, where it's like everybody's connected to the same network. Everything is the same. It's kind of like globalism in a way. And I'm just like, and the thing is like, that's just, my perspective on it, my opinion. But, I don't think that it's a good message really to be sending to like, to the world. I think people just need to make up their own minds about it and actually have a more educated perspective on it, rather than just letting this fucking game tell you like what you need to believe and what's actually good and bad. Decentralists are fucking evil fucking terrorists. It's kind of like how they kind of made libertarians bad with Solidus. It's like they turned him into like a terrorist and shit. It's here's proof that he was the good guy. Literally, Solid Snake carried out his mission in MGS4.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, that's kind of what makes me somewhat believe that maybe this could be like another scenario where, who knows, maybe it could be. Maybe the terrorists were actually like correct in this game, or maybe that might be the underlying message. I mean,
but I don't even know if that's going to happen, because from what I heard from Review Tech USA's videos, that there's no actual like big plot twist in this game at all.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no usually there's like some crazy twist in the Kojima game. There's nothing in this game that really equates to that at all.
Yeah, which is a shame. I mean, we kind of go back to that Solidus quote that Kojima tweeted, and I mean, you think about like Solidus, and whenever I look back on that game, I don't see. I mean, yeah, he's a bad guy, but the way he was portrayed pretty positively, in my opinion. Like, it really made you, the player, question like, wait, am I really doing the right thing here? Like,
well, that's not really what they're doing in this game at all, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of cut dry. Like, it's like, oh, these are the bad guys, or terrorists going around, causing craters and shit.
And having like Troy Baker's character, like, obviously like evil as fuck.
Yeah. Even licking the whammon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's like pretty fucking like, I don't know. It's just fucking stupid. Like, I literally hate everything about this fucking game. Like, it didn't even surprise me that they have some kind of fucking toxic message in there and shit, And it's like,
well, come on, man. Hideo Kojima's now like in cahoots with freaking like
the biggest people in Hollywood.
The biggest people. We're talking about the biggest. James Cameron, J.J. Abrams, fucking, like, he's just, God, even
the people like fucking Conan O'Brien and shit. It's like, obviously these people are very fucking connected, to everybody in Hollywood. So it's like, he's kind of like in the system already, and he's just like, obviously like has some, he's just intertwined with it, and it's like, I don't know, it just like has brought down his type of the quality of his work, like to an insane amount, But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of my opinion about the fucking whole like social media system about the game. I just think it's fucking phony. It's fake. It has a bad message. It's like it's just a shitty fucking gameplay mechanic, and it's not even a gameplay mechanic. It's literally just a reason for you to fucking explore the fucking like dead fucking dull open world,
Yeah.
It's like, you got to connect the network back. It's like, well, is this thing that I'm even doing a good thing? It's like that's kind of gives me less of a reason to even play it, because I actually genuinely feel, just judging from what the briefing was about, that like I don't even really necessarily agree with the message. So, like, why that just gives me less.
Nah,
of a reason
dude,
to
you
play
got to
it.
walk into it with positivity,
No, dude,
man.
fuck that.
God, I fucking swear, I've seen like multiple comments like that in this fucking goddamn.
If you have an open mind, you just might like this game.
Yeah, no, man.
Oh, if you just fucking make it to the end,
Dude, that's
if you
fucking
just,
ridiculous.
if you just like give it, just give it the chance.
People don't want a fucking diversity of opinions. That's like literally, these fucking reviewers who gave the game a shitty review, like they have they speak for a fucking large audience, a much larger audience than people even fucking realize,
Mm-hmm.
So I think like their opinions are actually more valid than all of the reviewers who just fucking like gave the game a 10 and shit. It's like,
Yeah.
and then people like Yang Ya and fucking Angry Joe and shit. It's like obviously those guys are gonna give it a perfect review. So it's like I haven't even listened to their reviews because I already know it's bullshit.
Yeah. Same
Like
here,
I'm
yeah.
not a Kojima. I mean, I used to be a Kojima fan. I'm not a Kojima fan at all anymore. So
I would consider myself a Metal Gear Solid fan
yeah.
at this point.
Well, a Metal Gear fan, a Snatcher fan, and a Police Knots fan.
just-
I would
like,
say I'm
it's
a
just-
Metal Gear Solid 1
it's
and
not
2
either.
fan.
and
I like them just 3, but
Yeah, dude, but like I don't know. I'm just like I just really don't. These fucking people that are just saying that shit though, dude. It's like,
Oh, you have to walk into it like, you know what? Fuck IGN for it's like this guy just went in there wanting to like nitpick and just trying to go in there with a bad attitude.
this guy ought to be fired.
yeah, well, actually, they're fucking saying that
I
shit too.
know, that's
It's like, dude, what?
God.
And fuck that IGN review. They the guy just went in there and he was just trying to freaking dissect it.
No, he went in there looking for faults. I'm like, dude, no, he didn't. It sounded like literally everything he brought up was
Sounded like it was an
valid,
annoyance.
Yeah, valid criticisms. Of
Didn't
the
he say it
fucking
was
game.
okay at the end?
I mean, he didn't give it a 5 out of 10. I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
he gave it like a 5. It would have been fucking like a really bad review, but like he did give it a 6.8, which is like almost a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not that bad,
It's a failing grade, but it's
yeah.
barely a failing grade, and it's just like, I mean, dude, I'm sorry, but if the guy has valid criticisms of the game, and if he didn't have a good time playing it, who are you to tell the guy that he's wrong? He didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's like,
right.
dude, sorry, but that's just the way fucking opinions work.
Yeah.
Like not everybody, especially whenever you have a game that's just like gonna be this polarizing to begin with.
And
Yeah.
I mean,
The guy's creating a new genre supposedly. But
Not
yeah,
a new
Yeah.
genre.
No,
God.
it's
I don't know.
not.
This is fucking people. That's what people are saying though.
Anyway, but like, dude, you can even criticize the opinion that he has, but like from the comments that I've seen, like they don't even do that. They just say, "Oh my, fuck this guy."
Yeah.
They don't say,
Yeah.
"Oh, he's wrong on this part," or "He's wrong on this part."
Yeah, I remember
Dude,
back
it's
in the
fucking
day. Back in
stupid.
the day, like people actually used to do that stuff. They actually used to break down the points that were made in the review, or break down points that you made in your comment, and then try to debunk it, or just make
Dude,
their
yeah,
argument.
dude, the
but
thing
now
is,
it's just
like,
like, fuck IGN.
Yeah, dude. The thing is, like, Kojima's
Like
a
fake
fucking
news
dude.
network.
The Kojima, he is a fucking hack, and like he's a fucking piece of shit too, because like. He's sitting here saying, "Oh yeah, we're creating a new genre with this game." It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
well,
pretty-
okay, so if
pretty,
you actually want to create a new genre, then why the fuck aren't you making the code open source?
Yeah,
It's like, like fucking. There's a lot of games out there that do that. Like fucking the Quake games and stuff, and
Yeah.
like basically
Half-Life.
people can make mods. They can get the code. They can make their completely entirely different game off of it. It's like if you're gonna be making this new technology and you're keeping it all to yourself, then there's not going to be a new genre from it. If you have all the technology,
Yeah.
it's like you have to make it open source so that way other people can get that fucking
Make-
technology and
make
make their
their
own
Death
games with
Stranding
it.
game.
Yeah.
Make their Stranding game.
Exactly.
It's
I'm
like,
just like, well, I mean, you're fucking like, he's just like, not respectable.
he's a
at all.
liar. He's just he's
Yeah.
just blowing fucking.
And a lot of the
hot air.
gameplay elements that are supposed to be like really quote unquote unique. I mean, despite like making walking that detailed and like just really burdensome. Like there's this whole thing that's like getting a lot of praise about it about being so new, and that's like like if you walk around the landscape, you're gonna see like other players like influence on the landscape, and you're gonna see like bridges and like
ladders
and stuff.
Like, that they left behind.
Okay,
Or if you're really feeling up to it, you can actually carry somebody else's cargo that they dropped, and you can. It's like, God, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
that sounds like a shitty idea, dude. The thing is, like,
The
the fucking
thing is,
GameSpot
it's
review.
it's already been
goddamn,
done
dude.
before. The thing is, like, not that to that exact way, but like, there's Dark Souls. There's a whole thing where there's different players that don't influence you directly unless they like attack your world or your server or whatever. But like, what they do is that they actually go to like certain sections of like the level, and they'll put in messages. Which can warn you, which can like tell you to like, hey, there's a boss battle ahead or a great battle ahead, or
Yeah, so basically it's
there's a
already been
trap here.
done
It's already been
before
done.
and better.
Yeah. And it's like
Yeah.
simpler, and it just makes. I mean, whatever. I guess that is sort of a cool idea. Like, do you have other players like kind of helping you in that way?
Yeah.
With ladders or
But this
something.
guy,
I guess,
he can't
but-
claim that that's his idea, though.
No,
Dude,
you
yeah,
can't.
no, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's like you said again. Like he doesn't even really have that many ideas to even say that it's a new genre, because he just basically steals a bunch of like Grand Theft Auto's ideas with the open world. This idea with like that, Dark Souls. It's like he didn't even come up with a lot of these ideas, and it's
I
like
mean, come on, man. Like vehicle
I don't
transport.
know, man.
Like,
Dude,
come
the
on,
thing is,
dude.
like, I just hate like the fucking GameSpot review. The way it ended, it said like, oh, this game requires compassion, patience, and love. I'm just like, God, it's like, what
Love?
the fuck?
How do you put love into a
Because
playing a game?
you're like helping each other and shit, and it's just like
Yes.
yeah, and it's like you're basically fucking like, oh, you're leaving stuff for
not a-
people to
That's
use.
not a new thing though.
So
I
It's
know,
like
it's
a
like,
game
dude,
for
they're just
faggots.
fucking buttering it up, dude. I'm just like, dude, this is so fucking phony, man. It's like, give me the fucking hell away from this shit. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just have no fucking reason to fucking play this game.
Yeah.
Like that is actually keeping me from like further away from this game. It's like, dude, like, just give me a fun game. That's all I really want. I don't need like everybody else's help and their fucking love and their compassion. It's like, but they're just like fucking sugarcoating this fucking like
Yeah.
basic feature in this game.
Given the gameplay of this game, this could have been like an interesting experiment if it was like maybe like 5 hours or maybe even 10 hours. But if we're talking about 60, 80 plus hours of just doing just that,
Yeah.
I don't care how good the story is. I mean, I've been hearing that it's really good. Like, I think I'd rather just like watch the fucking cutscenes at this point. I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's probably actually. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch the cutscenes before like chapter 4. I think if I do watch the cutscenes and I manage to find the cutscenes on YouTube or something,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start at chapter 4, like
Mhm.
where the embargo ended.
Right.
So. I have no fucking. I really don't like have any.
Dude, I
reason
might,
to
I might
even
watch like the intro,
Yeah, the intro,
and then maybe I'll
like,
probably
the
skim
ending-
through,
yeah, the
see if there's
ending-
anything interesting that happens along the way, and then
probably the ending of chapter 3.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the intro, ending of chapter 3, and then the rest of the game. Like, I'm not gonna fucking like
Waste.
pay. I'm not gonna pay fucking $60. Actually, that's the fucking another point that I wanted to bring up about the reviews, is that these fucking reviewers, they're getting paid to fucking play the game. Like, you have to think, like, their reviews, like, especially for a game like this where it's like extremely slow. All of the reviewers are saying this. Like,
It's
it's,
just
it's
a
a slow
it's
ass
a
game. It's
fucking
fucking
patience
like
tester,
yeah,
dude.
it tests your patience to no end, and it's like, man, like,
Well, why
if
would you wanna go
if you
through-
actually paid $60 for this game,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you would be a lot more pissed off.
And if you come back home from like a 12-hour blue collar job, it's like
Yes.
you don't want, you're not gonna
Dude,
want
the thing is, that's
No.
where
do even
there's
more
so-
labor. Like,
that's where a lot of fucking gamers are. They're like, working warehouse jobs or some shit, and like, they want to come home and relax and just play some fucking Call of Duty or fucking, I don't know, like
Something
so many-
action-packed,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah, like Gears of War or fucking, I don't know. Like, there's tons of other games. I just kind of like, like,
games that actually are fun.
yeah, even like
Like-
Metal Gear. Like, a lot of people
Yeah.
that we used to know, like that used to work at warehouses, loved Metal Gear. You
Sure.
know, I mean, it's just
yeah, like I said, you
it
can be
has
cerebral
a,
and have it be a fun game as well.
yeah, it has a wide appeal. Like, honestly, I feel like Metal Gear should have had these fucking primetime commercials like Death Stranding does, but it didn't, and it didn't really need to, It's like it still had its audience,
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
But that-
extremely
yeah.
well-selling game. It's
Yeah.
like, God, that's why they made so many. But like, and then now it's just like they just got this Death Stranding game. That's the one that actually gets all the attention. And I'm like, so, thrust it into Hollywood. Oh, yeah, Kojima will come down on this fucking space station stage at E3 and like, I'm back. It's like, okay, now back it up, dude.
Yeah.
Back it up with an actual fucking game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I have celebrities in my game. I don't have to make a good game.
Oh yeah, I have a good story that I can tell, but there's not going to be a good game built around it.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Thing is,
Yeah, I saw Shokio's video, and he was just talking about like how in the fuck can you actually say some of these things? Like, this game is utterly boring. 10 out of 10. Like, if a game, and a lot of them were saying that basically games don't have to be fun if they are like based on like more so like telling a story. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
the narrative
these
is,
are
like, beats
video
the fucking
games.
game.
Like, he
Yeah.
really like breaks it down, even the wordage of like video game and like how
Right.
games are supposed to be fun and like
Yeah, that's why we play games when we're
games.
kids.
Like,
It's-
just
we
the
only
generic
play to have
term.
fun.
The generic term of game is meant to be fun.
I mean, you don't. the thing is, even if you watch like a really good movie that's like, you know, like most people would consider like, say, like a masterpiece or whatever, whatever your version of that is, like you don't have to like, what part of that movie are you gonna be like, oh, that's so like, I'm so uncomfortable, and just like, you know, like I really hate seeing this, and I really hate hearing the sounds that it makes, and like the music is just awful.
Oh
But,
yeah,
like,
the Lobster, that movie that we saw.
But that's part of the experience, right? It's part of the experience
Yeah,
to like
dude.
feel like shit whenever you're watching.
I feel like this game is like the game version of The Lobster. That fucking movie. It's like literally had shitty cinematography on purpose just to basically piss you. Oh, we're gonna be arty with this. Oh yeah, we're gonna be fucking just like the fucking. Literally, they put you in a world that they don't even explain. They don't fucking like. It makes no fucking sense. The presentation is just like freaking gross and like disturbing, disgusting, and it's just like there's nothing really of value to take away from it. And you know what I did with that movie? I fucking walked the fuck out.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. The thing is, we
Everybody
were
that-
fucking
all of our
pissed because
friends,
we
like,
paid
yeah.
a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Like the fucking food that was at the theater that we ate at.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah,
I felt like
that's
it
right.
probably was and ended up being about $50 to $60 to see that movie.
Yeah.
And then we just ended up walking out of the dude. I literally have never walked out of a movie. Before that, and
Me
it was
neither.
exactly what you're explaining. Like, you know, we paid fucking like all this money for it, and you know, we sat through it. It was fucking made us uncomfortable the entire time, and it just pissed me off. I'm just like, okay, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out of here. Like, this is a dumbass fucking movie.
Even as a movie that's like slow paced as like 2001: Space Odyssey.
No, God, that movie has like insane, like at least the fucking, like, dude, it has an actual story.
Right.
It has fucking like, you know, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of mystery involved with it, but like, the presentation is what really fucking gets you with that movie.
Yeah.
This one is just like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
this
it's
shit?
shitty.
You don't spend
cinematography.
like 30 minutes watching like one of the astronauts like eat their space food, you know, like
Yeah.
just an hour of like watching them eat or
Yeah,
whatever.
or just
It's
like literally just freaking like, I don't know, just like walking, literally just walking for
Yeah.
20 miles and shit.
And I guess the point from what I've gathered is like you're supposed is the whole point is that you're supposed to be like sort of uncomfortable while you're playing this game to really, I guess, quote unquote, appreciate the work that's put into delivering these packages. But it's like, dude, like I don't
Who
know.
cares?
I don't know. I don't think I'm interested in like doing something. Like I want to have fun when I'm playing a game.
Yeah, dude, I want Zone of the Enders, not fucking, you know, UPS simulator, dude.
Or fucking like any of the Metal Gear Solid games
Dude,
where I have fun,
I'm-
but like I get exposed to like a really good story.
God, I feel like such an idiot now in hindsight. Thinking back, I was like, oh man, fucking Hideo Kojima's going on his own. Man, I wonder if he's gonna. I was like expecting him to make a game like fucking Zone of the Enders, which is like high octane action.
Yeah.
And then it just ended up being the antithesis of that. It's like, oh, you know, we're not gonna hurt anybody in my new game. It's
You know, the thing is, I thought it was going to be like a Zone of the Enders type game, but a little bit more grounded in reality, where it was
Yeah.
like maybe had a little bit more of a realistic kind of physics
Sure.
system, but it's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
fucking fun. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But like,
yeah, I remember
that's
thinking that
kind of
too.
what-
Whenever they
that's kind of
showed
what I was
Ludens
thinking.
and shit.
Yeah.
Whenever they showed Ludens, I was like, okay, so he kind of looks like he'd be some kind of sort of like a space combatant or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but then now it's just like, oh yeah, it's fucking parcel delivery. Okay.
yeah, dude, I
Nice.
can't believe that's what we fucking ended up getting. I remember like,
Yeah, I know.
Man, I
Dude, you know
remember
what the
just my
fucking stupid thing is?
imagination.
Is that all this is really is Kojima decided he wanted to make it open world, and he had to come up with some sort of game system that was going to allow him to make an open world game.
Yeah.
And then the first thing that comes to his mind probably, oh yeah, well, it's fucking delivery. Yeah, that'll force people to walk.
dude, who the fuck okayed this?
Fucking, he doesn't have to answer to anybody.
Yeah, I guess so.
He
Yeah.
okayed it.
The
Nobody challenged him.
the
He's
interesting
literally the
thing
new
about
George
this-
Lucas, dude.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this is like ever since MGS4, I've always found like whatever ideas that I came up with or whatever ideas we came up with was always like better than what we actually got, and it actually the case was like much worse as each game like came out.
Yeah, I know. I remember, probably around the same time. I remember me and Brian were just always making predictions and even some of Young Yaz like freaking theories. Remember with you know, Metal Gear Solid 4, we had our own like theories that we
Right.
talked about and made before the game came out. And me and Brian have been doing that shit since MGS2.
Right.
Every single time. I remember with MGS2, we even wrote down a list of like predictions and
Yeah.
stuff. And with MGS3, and then with 4, and then it was with 5 that it was just like. It just got to the point to where I was like, dude, like the ideas that we came up with and that the internet collectively came up with
Yeah,
for the hospital scene, especially, were infinitely fucking more interesting than what we ended up getting. Because the hospital scene was utter shit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the presentation is pretty cool, but like, what's actually
it
happening?
didn't
Nothing
mean
is
shit.
explained. It's all
Yeah.
art house bullshit. It's like, okay, so Volgan's actually just still alive. I thought that was just like maybe a
he
figment of his
hasn't aged?
imagination when
He
it was
hasn't aged?
yeah, with a hallucination. Yeah, he hasn't aged.
20 years.
Paz is still alive. You know, dude, all this stuff like that. That freaking opening scene of dude, it was just like fucking ridiculous. Man, God, I just remember thinking like, this shit probably is gonna be badass as shit. Man,
Yeah, I know.
It was bad. It was bad ass.
yeah, literally some like fart shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I can't, like... One of the things that really bothers me about this game is the HUD and this, like, the amount of fucking shit that's on screen.
All the data and shit.
Yeah,
the
all the
network
data,
stuff,
all the fucking packages on your back, like...
I mean, dude, sometimes like it's pretty ridiculous whenever you have like 15 feet of packages on your back and you're traveling via motorcycle.
Well, that's our Kojima. That's our Kojima beat.
yeah.
quirky.
No, dude. God, I've already thought it was bad whenever they forced him to carry all the weapons on him in MGS5, but this is just like literally getting to the point of just like trying to fucking slap you in the face, like just dick slap you and shit. Like, goddamn, dude. It's like, ooh, like that just looks ridiculous. And then just like seeing the bike go through the terrain, like, what the fuck is this game?
With
Dude?
that
It looks
package
goofy as
tower
shit.
the tower on
with
your
the
back.
Power, with the tower on your back.
Yeah,
and
dude,
shit.
I don't know. I just fucking hate the whole, like, menu system of, like,
The
balancing.
Chiral network, basically.
No. The menu system of, like, whenever you're balancing, like, all the fucking shit on your back, you know, you have to, dude, like, there's so many fucking aspects of this game that are just like, oh yeah, walking simulator, but, like, you actually, like, have to sleep in this game too.
Yep.
And then you have to
You
caress your baby. You have to fucking take a bath. You have to fucking, like,
Pee.
dude, yeah, you have to pee. It's like, dude, fuck all this shit. Like, just give us a fucking fun game. I don't know. It's like, this shit is like, you know, I don't know. It wouldn't piss
But
me off
is
that
the
much.
fun.
Huh?
That's the fun, Brian.
Yeah,
The
I
fun
don't
is
know.
in the, you know, that's
Yeah.
the gameplay. Instead of like slaughtering enemies, instead of playing a fucking shooting simulator, dude, you have to actually do some cool ass shit.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man.
have
These
to keep
fucking
your
people in the
balance.
comments that keep saying, "Oh, go play your pew pew games." I'm like, okay, quit acting like fucking you've never played a fun shooting game before.
I know,
Shut the
right?
fuck
God.
up. Like, I mean,
Literally,
like,
that's what Metal
aren't you a
Gear- that's what-
Kojima fan? Aren't you a Kojima fan? You don't like fucking the shooting in Metal Gear? Like, are you that much of a fucking pussy? Like,
No,
seriously.
they just melee those
Go play
fucking
your
dudes.
pew pew games.
No, you
what-
can't even say shooting games. Like, oh, you go play your pew pew. I'm like, shut the fuck up, God. It's just like these people are so like fucking stupid. It's like, yeah, I will go play my fucking shooting games. Like, shooting games are fucking badass, and fucking quit acting like they aren't. You know?
Yeah, I know. It's like literally the most popular type of video game out there, and these people are just trying to act like it's fucking like some fucking like
I know
degenerate
these
shit.
people probably get fucking triggered by fucking laser tag and shit. You know? It's like, I don't know. I mean, you have to think about it. They probably do. If they have a problem with shooting in a video game, they have to have problems with actually like
Pointing
you know,
and shooting a laser
yeah,
at somebody.
like at an actual living, breathing person. You know, it's like, oh, like that's literally the level of fucking ridiculousness that I see it at. You know,
Could be.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like some of these people are just trying to fucking make a point, and then they just don't realize how fucking retarded they are.
Oh yeah, you know they get caught up in their freaking in their hate and their anger for sure.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed that a lot. It's like, oh, stop whining and just go
Play
you know,
Fortnite.
yeah, go play Fortnite, go play Call of Duty, go play Gears of War. But like a lot of them are just like, why are you whining about this game? Why do you have to if you don't like it, then don't even comment on it. Just like fucking if you're gonna come in here and say some fucking negative shit, just keep that stuff away from here. Let us. It's like, God, shut the fuck up, dude. I have my own fucking voice
like,
too.
If
Yeah,
you
no.
just say some blind fucking praise for like a game that hasn't come out yet, well, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I know.
What if
Like,
I'm
what the
actually
fuck?
like bringing up badass points, which I usually am? Like I don't go in there just talking shit. You know what I'm saying? I actually just bring up fucking really because the thing is we've also fucking been like on the hype train of this game, and it's like as I've been kind of slowly getting off of it, like I just bring up all these fucking points about like why the fuck like this game is kind of trash, and people just no, like get out of here,
Dude, they got their
quit,
blinders on.
just get out of here with your negativity. It's like, dude, what if I'm actually like waking people up? Like, like what if I'm actually like making sensible fucking arguments that like are the, like that are gonna be resonating with people,
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not gonna shut the fuck up, like
You
just
shut the
because
fuck
you
up.
Why don't you
just
actually
'cause
counter
you're-
what the fucking dude's saying? Like,
dude, the thing is, like, nobody has even tried to fucking like counter anything that the IGN article has said, or that other one that's like gave it a 4 or something. It's like nobody has even like tried to counter any of these points. They only say like, oh, fuck IGN. It's like, well, why don't you actually try to fucking counter some of these arguments, instead of fucking just like telling me to go play some fucking pew pew games.
yeah,
and shit.
if you have this fucking like, oh, you fucking, why don't you haven't even played the game yet? It's like, yeah, neither have you. Why don't you fucking
Yeah.
wait and by that logic and stop playing the game so much?
Yeah, some people even say some bullshit like, man, there's just one ridiculous fucking thing where like I was arguing with somebody about like just the basically trailers, like trailers, gameplay videos, and reviews. Like those 3 things you can judge a game off of. Like I don't like I can judge the fuck.
That's like the
whatever
holy
I want to.
trinity of like marketing.
Yeah, these people are saying it's like, oh yeah, you can't fucking judge a game by its trailers. But then it's like, why the fuck are you buying the game based off the trailer?
You know, why are you buying, like, why are you even, why do trailers exist then? If they're not there to, like, try to entice you to buy the game or
make
you form an opinion about it.
Yeah, I know. It's like, that's
like
that's
this whole fucking
that's
purpose.
exactly why they're there. And if you just like blindly fucking like don't want to look at any fucking negative reviews or anything that's like critiquing the fucking final product, then you're literally just being straight up duped by the marketing.
Yeah.
That's literally exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's like you're just straight up admitting that you're being duped by the marketing.
Yeah.
And then there's
What are you going to judge it off of? Like, you've only seen like 2% of the gameplay in the whole game. It's like, yeah, but that's what Hideo Kojima wanted to show me.
Yeah,
He
the
even
thing is,
commentated
already
throughout the entire fucking video.
and then everybody that's played the game, not just 2% of it, says that it's exactly what we see in the fucking gameplay videos.
Yeah.
So what the fuck do you have to say about that? We've only seen 2%.
They're lying. They're just lying.
They're
Yeah.
lying. There's a second embargo.
Yeah, I know. Dude, some of these people are so ridiculous that they. There was this one guy that was saying it's like, oh man, you can't judge a game based off of the fucking review. Like, look at Ghost Recon, for instance. Like, that game, they made that game seem like it was going to be the fucking best game of fucking, like ever made and shit. But like that game ended up being shit, and it wasn't even worth $5.
Well, that guy
I'm just like,
got-
dude, first of all, you got fucking duped by fucking Ghost Recon. That game looked like shit.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, there was already like whenever they showed the first gameplay video, there was already comparison videos on the internet showing like how much they lied about the fucking first trailer,
Yeah.
and like how much of a downgrade it had.
Yeah.
And then the actual gameplay video like looked so fucking shitty. That's like, okay, this
So
game
if this
literally
guy,
just like buggy as fuck.
yeah, I remember
Crazy
that
point.
E3 whenever they started showing the gameplay
Yeah,
videos.
coming from Ubisoft, that's all you have to know.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, dude, if you're gonna get duped by what's literally right in front of your face again, then that's on you, dude.
I know. It's like this guy sitting here trying to say like, oh, you can't judge the trailers, or you can't judge the game from the trailers and make the gameplay. I'm just like, yeah, you can.
You can't judge the game
I
from the
judged it, and I
gameplay.
was right. Dude, the thing is, I always judge games, and I'm usually like right, like about 99% of the time. Like I can't even remember a time where I like really kind of delved into a game, like the marketing, the fucking gameplay, the reviews, like. I usually have pretty good judgment whenever I come down, like, and I say if like there's something that like, I think there's a movie that I'm gonna hate or some shit based off of like the trailers that I saw for it. I usually just end up not liking the movie. I think I've never been pleasantly surprised. Like, I mean,
No, I mean, we have for sure a couple of times.
I think Alita was like a lot better than I thought it was gonna be, but like I didn't
Remember
think.
the Batman Begins was another one. There's been a few movies where like, but the thing is, a lot of those movies we like actually didn't really watch too much of the marketing material for.
Yeah,
Just
I know. I
kinda went
remember.
to
I
the
think we
theater
saw
and-
like one or maybe 2 trailers of Batman Begins, but like it's just the thing is like the vast majority of fucking movies and games that we look at that we're interested in, like we end up being right on the dot with the fucking shit. So it's like, okay, I have a good judgment. I mean, I can.
you should be able to tell like what you think you're gonna like.
Yeah, I
mean, it's
don't
like
I don't
you that
let
we're
myself
talking about
easily
here.
get duped by fucking just the official fucking marketing. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, dude, that's like literally just saying that you're just prone to propaganda and shit.
So as far
you know?
as we
Yeah,
know,
basically.
up to chapter 4, it's going to be a walking simulator, right?
Yeah, these
So
big
that
these
should be like
people-
enough, right? Like, okay,
Dude, I know
if we're gonna be
exactly.
spending that amount of time just doing what I fucking hate. Okay, it doesn't matter how badass like the rest of the game is. Like, why even fucking bother if that's what I'm gonna have to deal with for like that big of a chunk of the game?
Yeah, dude, even
Yeah.
if the fucking game gets so fucking good after the fucking 3rd chapter, I'm like, it's still not going to be worth it. If I have to play like an hour of the shit that I've seen in the fucking gameplay videos, which is over an hour, then it's already not worth it for me. I'm not going to pay $60 and fucking have to play through even just what I saw already.
Yeah.
Like I know that I'm not going to like this game that much. It's just like, okay, I can already, like, literally everything that I've seen looks like fucking garbage.
But people will tell you that you're...
These, they think, like, oh, dude, you've played the game? Like, dude, no. Like, I've seen the gameplay videos. I fucking have read the fucking, interviews with Kojima. I've seen the panel discussions. I've fucking... all this shit. I've done my fucking research. And everything about the game sounds like fucking trash. And everything looks and sounds like fucking trash.
Yeah.
I think that, like, one of the only redeeming qualities of this game is probably the music that Ludwig Forssell has written.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about any of the music from Low Roar. I mean, obviously we don't give a shit about it from the intro of this video, but, I mean, it's
Wait, are you guys gonna make that the video? You guys?
Yeah.
You gonna make that the intro?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that ass. Okay.
I'm probably gonna loop the video too, like during the podcast.
Dude, seriously, I don't know. I know it's like these people. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. What were you saying?
We were talking about Ludwig Forssell has the only fucking good.
That's literally one of the only good, aspects of this game. I mean, granted, there's some things that I like about it, like maybe some of the interior designs that Yoji Shinkawa has done. Maybe some aspects of the character design are cool on few characters. I like the way that to be honest with you, the scene that I'm like really most captivated by is the one that was in the intro of the last trailer, where like Mads Mikkelsen is like, fucking with this trench coat, and he's kind of reminds me of Snatcher, and and it's like he's trying to escape some sort of facility, and it actually looks like the first cutscene that I've seen in this game where something's actually going down.
Right.
I know. It's like that's what I was telling you before. Is like it says in the main credits of the trailers, it says like written by Hideo Kojima, directed by Hideo Kojima, produced by Kojima, and then it says game scenario Hideo Kojima. I'm like, what the fuck kind of scenarios are in this game? There's no scenarios.
Yeah.
It's like literally
the scenario is
delivering packages.
Yes.
And it's like that's the only I was like, okay, basically he came up with the idea of delivering packages, but like what the fuck else is going on in this game? It's like it's kind of hard to say that there's a game scenario.
Yeah.
It's like if you compare it to like Metal Gear Solid 2, any Metal Gear game, like there's constantly different scenarios going on.
It's
Even
like
Zone of the
every
Enders, too.
freaking Zone of the Enders is the same way. It's like every section of the game that you get to, there's literally like the controls are the same, but you're put in a different situation. Like for instance, you get to the nuclear fucking thing where you can't use any of your weapons because you might sound off the alarm. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
there's just where you're looking for the girl with the jiggle in her butt, or you gotta freaking find a way to avoid the wolves in the cave.
Yeah, or you have to use the Nikita missile through the fucking through the vents or some shit. And then
there's literally every single fucking area you go to, there's a different scenario.
Yeah.
But with this game, it's literally transport fucking parcels.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I know. And it's like there is one scenario that they had that I did hear about where you had to, but it seems like the most fucking grueling fucking shit ever. It's like you literally want to kill yourself, but like there's a part in the game where you have to fucking carry a bomb over an entire mountain, and if you trip one time, then the bomb explodes. Like, and this is like,
that's a lot of replays right there. Wait. Oh, I guess depending on what the gameplay mechanic behind that is.
Yeah, which we also don't know about the whole.
No,
dying.
but I hear that part of the game is like fucking like absolute dog shit, and I think a lot of people actually just like stopped the game for a while, like during that part, because it's like so fucking shitty, and it's like. You can't even trip once. You know how you like the game, you have to keep your balance and shit, but it's like you can't even lose. You can't just trip. Like you're walking through rivers and you gotta fucking go over the ladders, and it's like you just can't fucking trip with this bomb in your hand and shit. And I'm just like, well, that sounds like fucking garbage to me. Like I remember, having to defuse a bomb in Police Knots, and that was like, kind of tedious.
Already tedious.
That was tedious.
It sounds like that times a billion, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just pretend that didn't happen.
Dude, the thing is, like, what we had, like, Police Knots.
Also, I heard there's something else we had to freaking like. There's one hard backtracking in this game is
oh yeah,
so rampant.
Yeah.
But like you actually have to backtrack from one part of the continent to the other. God. Like literally. Like,
I'm pretty sure you just go to the fucking the West Coast, and you have to go back to the East Coast or some shit, or maybe like you have to
maybe north to south or something.
No, I mean it seems like you're
going.
What
the fuck is even the scenario?
I
forgot. Forgot the package.
Whoops, something's I know.
Whoops.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say earlier though?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's going to be north to south because it's like the main mission of the game to go west.
Yeah.
So.
Manifest destiny.
Pretty much.
God.
Yeah.
Dude.
Have we made our case?
Yes.
I think that's
I think it's a wrap, guys.
Yes,
Hopefully you enjoyed this review of Death Stranding. A review of the fucking bullshit. The review of the reviews and all of the freaking social media. Freaking just, God, these fucking normies, man. They're so fucking cringy. Zoomers are... Ugh.
Zoomers are just...
Yeah. I don't know,
Damn.
man. Like, I think a lot of the people that were... I don't know. The thing is, I'm
Okay,
pretty sure a lot of
okay,
these people
boomer.
are millennials, too, though. So I don't really know, man. I'm just like... There's just so many annoying-ass fucking people out there that just have such a problem with people having an opinion about their favorite game.
Yeah, well, this
And
is
it's
like...
it's not even their favorite game yet because it's not even fucking out and nobody's
Right.
even played it yet.
It's like, it's kind of weird. This is like almost like a quite literal cult following.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a digital cult, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not even like a cult, like in the sense that like there's even like a, you know, some kind of ceremonial type of shit to it. It's just basically Kojima.
Yeah, they're taking the Kojima is God meme a little too seriously.
Yeah, and I feel like it's basically just people that just like are such fucking fans of him that they will fucking just buy anything he does. Like, you know, it's like they'll buy into it. You know what I'm saying? It's like they fucking will buy the game, of course, but they'll also just buy into like any of his shenanigans.
Yeah.
Like, and people just like
They liked being
They will
trolled
literally
and just like fucking
yeah,
trampled
like
on.
you
and
will
shit.
literally have people that will like fucking like people like Young who's just like literally has made fucking, you know, after like MGS5, I felt like his whole career went in the direction of just talking shit about like the game industry and what was wrong with it. And a lot of things in Death Stranding, you know, I guess minus the loot boxes and shit, but like, you know, in the DLC, but like, you know, the in-game ads and shit, like Young has had huge fucking
Yeah,
problems
you-
with in-game ads.
I mean,
but he's
maybe it's in the
completely
second part of the
fine. Just
review,
like, oh,
but-
you know what, you know, I reversed my stance on that for this game.
He literally like apologized for a control scheme, like just something as like as whack as like having to balance yourself with the trigger buttons.
Yeah.
And like hold out the harnesses with like the top shoulder buttons.
Yeah, I
And
know,
like,
dude, you remember how-
you call that taking off the training wheels of walking?
Dude, like I feel like that's just like regressing. It's just like literally, it's not even because there's nothing even shitty before that. It's just like I don't even know what the fuck it is. It's just like
You're
the
fixing something
wrong
that's not
idea.
broken.
It's a we're just going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
You know, that's basically what it is. It's just like it's literally like should never have even been conceived. You know, it's like we play a video game, we have a controller. There's just, you know, there's a directional pad and there's a fucking analog for a reason. There's like, until we actually have some kind of VR system with like all this fucking feedback and
Yeah, like
from like
Matrix
then
level
it might
shit.
make
Yeah,
sense. to
basically the
fucking-
Matrix. That's what it
Yeah,
would take
yeah.
for this game to actually be enjoyable to any degree, which it wouldn't even be then.
Yeah, no.
Like I would way rather be in the Matrix of Zone of the Enders than fucking delivering fucking parcels
I
and
know
tripping all over
exactly.
the place.
I
and
know
shit.
exactly. Like, do you do that in real life? No. Then why would you want to do it in fucking like a virtual real life?
Yeah, no,
you
that's
know?
the crazy thing about this game is that it's actually already a job that you can actually do already.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, yeah, and nobody likes it.
Yeah, it's like you don't get paid. You pay to.
I mean, there's like
fucking
literally
job.
countless videos of fucking just people that deliver Amazon packages, fucking throw them, on a, you know, just because they're fucking pissed. They fucking hate their
I
job,
don't know
dude.
if they had like a ladder that can digitize into existence. I mean, maybe that jump would be a little bit more fun, right?
God. No.
Yeah, I don't know,
Just
man.
no, dude.
This Young is fucking. I don't know. His fucking review. I mean, I haven't even watched it, but
I haven't even
just
seen a second of it
judging-
yet, but
yeah,
you've told me a
judging
little bit
from
about
what
it.
You've been saying about it. It's just like
And just knowing his history with Kojima, I mean, I literally followed him throughout the entire
he's just a
hype
fucking-
train
yeah.
of Metal Gear Solid 5, just listening to his his analysis.
I actually
videos
unsubscribed to him after his review. Like after he told me about it, like dude, I have literally no reason
to follow that
to
guy
follow him.
anymore.
It's like,
Yeah.
dude, like he basically just, you know,
Kind of just
like, you know, he's made so many fucking videos about like in-game ads and shit, but then like he just doesn't say anything about it in fucking Death Stranding or
Yeah,
what?
he's going pretty hard against Bethesda too.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, what the fuck is your problem?
Yeah, well,
Like-
dude, he's in like bed with Kojima,
yeah,
basically.
he's saying like, what was it, Fallout? What was it, the online one?
The 76.
Yeah.
Well, this guy's met Kojima.
Yeah, it's like
he's like Kojima knows who he is. He's in with Kojima.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want to lose that connection with him by fucking giving him a bad review. I mean,
Yeah, no,
a
I
lot
know
of people
exactly.
are just literally just sucking the Kojima dick, dude.
Yeah, and
this
the
guy
thing
can
is-
this guy can literally slap you in the face with a shitty ass fucking game, and these people will still be loyal to him and be like, oh yeah, can you kiss in my mouth, please?
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I mean, he's just like, is just a fucking Kojima apologist. Like, he just fucking basically, just. I mean, it's basically like Fallout 76. Like, he was fucking complaining about that game so much, being like, oh, it's a desolate fucking, open world
yeah,
game with
I know,
nothing to do.
I know,
Well,
I
like,
know.
what the fuck is this?
I know. That's funny because he had multiple videos talking about Fallout 76's like shitty ass fucking gameplay, no NPCs, desolate landscape, fucking. It's like all that shit's in this game too, but you're just giving it a pass. Why? Because it looks prettier. Is that really what comes out? Oh, it's my favorite director. Okay, well, like fucking God, I'm pretty sure Fallout 76 might actually be better than this game. Probably has. I mean, I'm pretty sure you don't have to like fucking keep your balance when you're walking in that game.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's automated. God, there's just certain things that should be automated in games to make them funner.
Yeah.
Like another one of the things is like in MGS5, you can literally sprint for however long as you want. I was like, God damn, fucking finally a game that lets me do this. I was like, I don't like to be like limited.
With like a stamina bar.
Huh?
With a stamina bar.
Yeah, fuck stamina bars, dude. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, I guess in some scenarios they work, like with drowning and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. Like, fucking that shit was fun. Being able to, especially considering it was an open world game.
Yeah.
That's like that made it a little bit better. It was just being able to sprint fast as fuck to at least like a goal. And he ran pretty fast. So it's like, why can't we just keep having that? Why do we have to like digress or just like fucking regress so far back?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what let's see.
Oh, you get mechanical legs in this one. Oh, you can run super fast.
It's like, it looks like shit.
I know. The jumping
Animation.
mechanics looks like fucking garbage.
Yeah, what were we gonna say?
I was gonna say like there's no reason why you couldn't just kind of separate that. If you had to have like stamina, maybe kind of save that for like whenever you actually fight. But if you're actually just traversing the landscape, like if you're just going from point A to point B, why do you have to factor in like stamina at that point? Especially if it is a open world game, where you have to like traverse.
God, the thing is, your fucking stamina. You have stamina. You have to fucking sleep. You have to fucking change your boots. You have to make sure you have an extra pair of boots to change into. You have to caress your baby, make sure your baby's doing okay.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
we never even got into all that shit, dude.
the baby.
Yeah,
Dude, this game is literally
We mentioned it, but,
this
like,
game
yeah,
is so
dude.
scatterbrained. There's so many things. There's almost like too many things to even talk about.
Yeah.
I feel like we could sit here and just talk about this game for like
thing is,
probably like
actually,
all fucking night till like 5 a.m. and
Yeah,
shit.
I remember seeing the fucking like the Gamescom gameplay video, and basically they kind of got into the part where he falls off the cliff. And he and then his baby's like all crying and shit.
Yeah.
I remember seeing like a compilation of like YouTubers that were like watching it, and it was kind of like all of them all at once in real time, like as if they were watching the trailer, and it was their trailer reaction or whatever. And all of them, like whenever it was like the baby and shit, and just like kind of caressing it, they were like, ooh, like they kind of looked grossed out by it and shit. All of them have that kind of like collective fucking reaction to it. I'm just like,
I guess with the intention of being like they wanted to see that, be like, oh no, hope the baby's okay.
yeah, of course the women are like, oh, it's so cute, and this but the guys are just like, what the fuck, this game is weird as fuck. It's kind of like they all had that kind of reaction.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know.
It's a babysit. It's a babysitting
Walking
freaking
simulator.
walking simulator / fucking
I'd be surprised.
piss fucking like
I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a stroller.
probably who knows with this fucking game.
No,
It's like
the thing is, there's a fucking breastfeeding like digital baby and
my
shit.
God.
It's like, God, what the fuck is with that shit?
what the fuck, dude? This guy's sick.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like
What the fuck is going on in this guy's brain, dude? It's like, man, he's just like fucking lost it, dude.
maybe they wanted him out of Konami. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. It's like, God, what the fuck is this guy fucking thinking?
Well, he's always had like these weird ideas. There's that idea with like the boss.
Ocelot and MGS3.
Oh yeah, and also
Yeah.
oh that was kind of funny. But like thing is, with the boss, like they wanted to give her like a dangling tit that had with like a snake on there or like a viper
Yeah,
on,
it
as
was
a
snake,
tattoo, and the idea was to make it look like it was laughing.
Whenever it would jiggle when she ran.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like what the fuck? What? First of all, there's no way you would
pick that up.
Yeah.
It would just look like
Just a jangle. It's a fucking
jiggly tit.
jiggly tit. Like, okay, well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so in order to like really convey it, you'd probably have to add in like the laugh or something,
Like,
like a,
Yeah.
a laughing
Well,
snake or viper or whatever.
dude, the thing is, I can see that. I can see him putting that in there, but
A
like,
laugh?
because just as
Yeah.
with the ocelot thing too, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I just felt like he probably wanted to have some weird ass fucking shit for each character, but I'm pretty sure all of them got turned down except for the ocelot one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that would have been such a stupid idea.
It would have been. Would have definitely brought down a couple of points.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like, it would have just like made a badass scene so much fucking like it would have brought it down to like a shitty
imagine
scene
the
pretty much.
shot of it. Like it would just be a close-up shot of her tit, like fucking looking like.
Well, you know
a
how like
jig?
her scar like kind of like,
Wrapped around, yeah.
slithered away.
Yeah.
What if it was like that tattoo that like slithered away from her tit, and like it's like jiggling, and then like it goes away, and like the jiggling stops, dude.
After it's gone.
After it's gone.
Wow. Yeah. All right. On that note, we're gonna have to wrap this up.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jiggly tits. Anyway, so for you people out there that like fucking love this fucking game still, fuck you. And I hope you die. No. But I don't know. I don't think you deserve to live, and probably should just fucking commit suicide and
you
shit.
definitely deserve to die in a video game, not in real life. In a video game, we're not advocating any kind of like violence. We're not gonna go
Yeah,
get you.
don't kill yourself. It's
I'll kill
okay.
you if I see you like in a Call of Duty match. I'll kill you in the match, dude. That's what-
No,
that's all.
we'll kill him spiritually, dude.
Spiritually. There you go.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to this latest episode of Next Gen Cast. Man, isn't it kind of crazy? Just on a final note, that like we started really picking this thing back up in like what 2013 or something, whenever Next Gen was like PS4, and now we're about to be
Into PS5.
yeah. Which I also heard that they just showed like the first demo for PS5, and it was pretty jaw dropping.
Damn.
Is it online? Or did they
No,
just
I
show
think it
behind
was
closed
behind
doors?
closed doors.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
we'll see. That just might be
We'll
fucking
see.
marketing.
We'll
but
talk
whatever.
about it, dude. Fuck.
I mean, it
Yep.
probably looks good. It probably looks like fucking PC.
Yeah, I know. All right, well, tune in next time. We'll probably be talking about Death Stranding a little bit more. Pretty sure it's going to be at least 2 or 3 episodes of that shit.
Yeah.
But, all right, tune in next
All right.
time.
Later.